Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Hollywood After Dark, episode number 70 for the 6th of September 2021. Today is a great day. Today, whiny man-children from across the internet are crying out in anger because they were shamed by the person they attempted to slander. All that here and more tonight on Hollywood After Dark. Let's get the hell into it. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to the show tonight. As I said, episode number 70. Last night, episode 69, we spent the whole night talking about a dumb cock. Today, episode 70, we're going to be talking about a group of people who are all dumb cocks, right? One way or another. Gigantic penises. Not in a good way, but in like a flaccid and completely useless sort of way, because all their predictions fell the hell apart. All of that and more tonight. We're also going to be discussing a little bit about some of the Sony news that were involving Venom, the unfortunate passing of Michael K. Williams, and a few other pieces of information as we go into it. But first, I want to give a shout out to the channel members. You guys are the ones who help keep this channel afloat. I do appreciate you all. Thank you all for doing it. If you want to get your name on this list, if you want to be known as a supporter of this, of this channel, the person who gives you nightly movie news, be sure to do that. Link in the video description. This month, we're going to be giving away a copy of Jackie Chan Drunken Master 2. That's our September giveaway here. And of course, you can get on that by dropping a super chat, becoming a member, or joining the Patreon over there at patreon.com/Matt Jarbo. That's a great way to do that over there. Appreciate it. Remember, also give the channel a like because Miss Minutes demands it, and you don't want to fuck with time because she a real bitch. That being said, let me introduce my guests tonight, Annie and RJ. How's it going, guys?
What up, what up?
I'm doing great. We just had a pretty good stream on my channel, you and me. Talked about some more political shit. It was a fun time.
It was fun. I don't talk enough about politics. So that's...
You have a lot of opinions on the matter. So.
Yes, I'm a very, 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 very vocal individual on a couple things. But I didn't see this until just right now. We have a couple super chats to get to right away real quick here. Sorry. HBart's $2 right off the bat, setting the tone for the night. 3 fuck theater Pornhub. Well, goddamn right, HBart's. We got Hollywood After Dark, the Pornhub logo, which will be available soon on a t-shirt, something you guys can buy to wear around your hometown to go, what exactly is Hollywood After Dark? Well, it's a show to talk about movies, and oftentimes porn stars pop up in the conversation. So it is simply just that. Thank you all very much.
Wood Holly.
It will make your, welcome. The only place to get Hollywood After Dark. Anyway, we got Simon section here with $5, man. Thank you right off the bat. The recent Mortal Kombat movie is Asian Black Panther, bad Black Panther. But I have the feeling that Matt hasn't seen Mortal Kombat 2021 yet. I haven't. I was going to watch it the other night, honest to God. I did a live stream instead. So that's my problem right now. But yeah, definitely I need to check it out. Thank you very much for that one there. And then we've got RPK here with 5 bones right off the bat, saying, rip Michael K. Williams. Thanks, Matt, for taking some time to talk about him. The great talent that he was. If you guys don't know who Michael K. Williams is, he is this gentleman right here, this actor. You've seen him in like The Wire. He's been in a lot of other things.
Boardwalk Empire. He was in that Assassin's Creed movie. He's been in a lot of stuff.
I loved Michael K. Williams. He also was Smokey. I didn't realize this till today. He was Smokey in the last couple seasons of F is for Family. And if you haven't seen that show, for one, it's like the best goddamn comedy on Netflix. And two, his character is fantastic, and he brought a lot of love.
He's also Emmy nominated for the Lovecraft Country.
Right, yeah, he was in Lovecraft Country as well. He unfortunately passed away today from what they are calling, what they are saying is a drug overdose in his apartment. I don't know the specifics. I saw some rumors floating around. I don't want to give him credence because I don't know what they are. That being said, this is a tragedy. This is a loss. He was a very gifted actor, a very talented actor.
Very kind person as well.
Yeah. Every time this dude popped up in something, I knew I was going to like what he was going to be in, And I loved him in Boardwalk Empire. Thought he was great. I haven't seen The Wire. I've heard nothing but great things about him in The Wire. I haven't. I know. I didn't have HBO at the time when that was going on. So there's that. But yeah, obviously this is some big news that hit today. and it's real effing sad that Michael K. Williams passed away. So of course, obviously, rip to him. Thoughts, I don't know, how do you say it? I'm not a religious person, so thoughts and prayers kind of annoys the hell out of me. You know what I mean? Is there
Thoughts
like
and condolences?
that's a way to do it, I guess. Yeah, thoughts and condolences, obviously, to his family and to his friends and to everyone out there that liked him. It's definitely one of those situations where
gone way too soon.
Yeah, it's like last month with Trevor Moore, man. That kicked my ass. That just straight kicked my fucking ass. So I was really sad that that Michael K. Williams passed away. With any luck, this is just another thing. Like, drugs like this can be a problem. Anyone can OD. It doesn't always matter what it is, what it's on, anything. I don't know. Just be careful is all I'm saying, like I'm not anti-drug. I'm just like, I don't know. You know what? You guys know what I'm trying to say.
It's always hard to find the right words when things like this happen.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'll just give my 2 cents and say this. It's always sad to see anyone pass away who's like touched so many people and has like such a good impression on so many lives. It's always sad to see that.
Yeah, and the chat brought this up. I almost forgot about this. He almost was Dryden Voss in Solo, but he wasn't able to come back for the reshoots. So they had to cast Paul Bettany. That's
right. He was. Yeah, that would have been so effing cool to see. I would love it if they would release some of that footage as a what we could have gotten. But don't get me wrong, I love Paul Bettany in the role. I thought he was great. But I forgot Michael K. Williams was going to be playing Dryden Voss in that, and that was just wow. I think that would have been cool as shit. I think it would have been a great intense villain that I think we all would have really liked. So definitely rip to him. And yeah, that's something. That's just something we wanted to kind of touch upon here in the beginning of the show. That being said, let me just bring this up here. Okay, so we did get a couple quick super chats while we're talking about that too. Not related, obviously. The AMBW channel says Jamaican bacon jarbo say bombaclot and fart. Well,
he really, really, really wants you to fart on stream.
Listen, if that's your kink. If that's your kink, dude, I'll do it, but it's going to cost you more than $5. I'm just saying, I got bills to pay. I got a mortgage. I got, insurance and cell phone and kids to feed. You want me to do something like fart? I can do it, but it's going to be expensive. I am a lady of class. All right. But bombaclot, whatever that word is. I don't know what that word is. Oh God, I'm going to Google it now. What does bombaclot mean? It means okay, it's the equivalent of douchebag or motherfucker. Okay,
I've got a piece
thank
of
God.
advice
I thought
for you,
I should have looked at that up first. I'm like, did I just say the N-word?
Yeah,
like,
Matt,
I
was just gonna say, like, never say a word before you know the definition.
Yeah, I made that
Never
mistake.
do
I'm like, oh no, did I just say something really terrible again?
You're older than me, Matt. How do you not know this by now?
What? You know what, man? We were just talking about the death of a fine actor. I wasn't thinking about that right there.
Okay, you know what? Fair. That's fair.
H-Bart's here with $5, man. Thank you. Says, watch Live and Let Live and Man with the Golden Gun this weekend. Both great. Damn straight, dude. Damn straight. You're making your way through Bond, buddy. You're making your way through Bond. Oh yeah, last night I roared on stream because I burped. So there's that. So I did burp on stream last night. Yes, I did. I was drinking a soda and it just kind of came out. So there's that one. Hold on here. Wait. John Hodgson says Cameo says hello to Matt Jarbo. Who's Cameo?
I know Cameo's an app that like celebrities use to like sell video greetings and stuff.
Wait, like the band Cameo? Like is that the fucking band Cameo?
Or is it like Cameo like the game?
Is that the fucking dude with the red cod piece in our chat right now? Holy shit.
Oh wait, hold on. I said what did I say? I thought I said Live and Let Die. I must have fucked that one up. Okay. My bad. All right.
All right. We probably shouldn't go too off.
But Tony here asking the important question: can animals queef?
Jesus Christ.
I mean, like, yes.
We're off to an amazing
I don't
start,
know. I don't know if animals can queef.
I don't want to know the answer to that question.
There are things in this world that maybe we shouldn't know the answer to, but there are things that we obviously do want to know the answer to, obviously. So let's get into the top story of the night. The reason why everyone is here. Obviously, what's in the thumbnail today has been a gloriously hilarious day for all of this, because you know what?
Tears have been falling
all over this last week, and I've talked about it before. I've been making jokes about it on you know, on the YouTube shorts and whatever. All of these people running out there, TheQuartering, Critical Drinker, Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotic, HeelvsBabyFace, Ryan Kinnell, Clownfish TV. It doesn't matter. All of the same usual suspects. The absolute feckless chuckle fucks known as the Fandom Menace. The people out there who do nothing but spout nonsense and bigotry. They were out there saying this movie was going to flop. This movie was going to be absolutely a train wreck, but it pulled out 90 mil over the course of a 4-day event. And people are still in my comment section trying to tell me that it's been a flop. I've been hearing that too. Hey, this is a flop, man. Don't you know? Like, there's not anything to write home about.
And certain people like directing into videos where it's like, this video does a great job breaking down why the box office, and it's like the title is Marvel Shang-Chi, a colossal failure, and then it has like 300 dislikes. Like, yeah, great coverage.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh no, I had somebody try like linking over, I think it was over the Faye Valentine thing. Someone was trying to link over a whole bunch of Fandom Menace videos as if that's any kind of anything. And I'm like, you do realize that like none of that means a damn thing to me, like period, at all. But of course, that is just, you know, that is just the world we live in, folks, where reality goes nowhere. But anyway, so today, to kind of mess around with this, I didn't realize this was a thing. Simu Liu made a, you know, couple funny things happened with him today. There was that whole thing with the stock photos that he did as a job a couple years ago. So those are floating around, and he was making fun of it. And one of them, he retweeted and said, "This is to all the people who said we were going to flop." And obviously we knew who he was talking about, but what was great about it was he actually took this image and he posted it to his Instagram story, just with the tag LOL over it. That's all he said about it.
Bad move.
But this is straight up. This is absolutely a slap in the face. It's a double-edged sword, I'll be fair. All right, like the rest of us can laugh.
Normally I hate this kind of stuff, but for some reason, just the fact that all he did was slap an LOL on it, I mean, I don't know, something about that tickled my funny bone, and it really made me. I usually don't like when actors engage.
He also
with these
posted
people.
to his Twitter an image, like because Simu used to do stock photos. So there's a stock photo of him looking at like the computer screen. He's like, me laughing at the people who thought my movie would flop. Wow, that's funny.
Well, yeah, he seems to be engaging a lot on social media. I don't know how good that necessarily is. It can be a good and bad thing. Like Matt said, it's a double-edged sword. But honestly, I don't normally like when actors talk about these types of things because I feel like it gives those people validity and it makes them like feel good in a way. It gives them exactly what they want, which is the attention. But at the same time, like that was just like, I don't know, it's great. It's all he did was slap LOL on there, and that really made me laugh. I think he did a good job.
Yeah, and to give credit where credit is due, because that's what we like to do here. TheQuartering did point this out. It says, LOL, fair is fair. Congrats at Simu Liu. I'll eat crow tomorrow. Well, I already filmed it, but it will release tomorrow. And he did prove that he does have another video where he said he was wrong about it. So to TheQuartering, and I hate saying this, by the way.
Yeah.
To TheQuartering's credit, that is something that's good. That he actually would admit that he was wrong because he's right there at the top.
Well, even people who I think make a ton of fucking mistakes, I need to give them credit on the things they do right in hopes that they'll continue doing it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was the right thing to do. Good. Please do things like that in the future and be less like yourself.
Yeah.
It's good on him for admitting he was wrong.
That's
better than most of the Fandom Menace did when Captain Marvel came out. They're like, we're gonna like fight tooth and nail to like deny that this movie's a success.
Because that movie wasn't good, but that's a conversation for another time.
Yeah, I know. It's always pretty funny here when you've got, you know, these people that do this. They like, you know, they lie about this stuff. They miss. You know, I was watching RJ did a stream today, talking about he was going over a Nerdrotics review of the movie, and I only caught a little bit of it because I was out with my kids. But he was right. Like RJ here was tearing into Gary, who clearly doesn't understand the property, clearly doesn't understand the project.
It was full of intellectual dishonesty. That was the biggest takeaway from the review. He, like, the thing with Nerdrotics, like, he generally believes that his audience is dumb enough to believe everything he's saying to them. And
he also went in wanting to hate it, I'm sure.
And he went in wanting to hate it too, which doesn't help it. Yeah.
Oh no, he absolutely went in wanting to hate it because he was already predetermined to hate this thing from the get-go. That's just the way that it is. But what cracked me up about this though is like you got like look at this here, it's like 52 likes to 42 dislikes.
Yeah, a lot of the Nerdrotic fans came out in force. This stream, I mean, I figured they would, obviously, because it's a hot topic, but it was very funny because I got a lot of interesting comments on the video.
Oh yeah, so let's take a look at some of these comments here. I thought these were kind of funny. You know, so you got, and again, it's a lot of coping. It's a lot of people that are trying to like move the goalposts. Well, they never actually said this, or they never actually did any of this. You got this guy over time here saying no idea why I was recommended this channel because you listened to Nerdrotic and you put Nerdrotic in the title and thumbnail. So YouTube is going to recommend it. That's why it happens. But he says, I listened to Nerdrotic's live stream today, and while I don't always agree with his reviews, his biggest complaint about the movie was that there wasn't enough focus on Shang-Chi in his own film. And I think that's a pretty fair criticism and a troubling trend with most Marvel movies / shows nowadays, where they sideline the male characters. And he says, this is a fact, and if you disagree with it, you have no idea what you're talking about. and then he says he's going to block your channel. It's like, but
yeah, and he did. He blocked the channel and said, I don't ever want to get recommended your channel again.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So like, let me just take a look at who the fuck this guy is.
Just because of one disagreement on a movie?
Well, he also said, you know, if you think if you disagree with me, then you're wrong. You know, it's like, okay.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, at that point, someone's so closed-minded, they're not going to hear out anyone else's opinion.
Oh, yeah, no. It says this is a fact, and if you disagree with it, you have no idea what you're talking about. He literally writes that right there. And I'm going like, come the hell on, man. Like, if you want, the movie is all about Shang-Chi. He's in basically like almost every
Nerdrotic kept calling, he said Shang-Chi should be called Soy Chi, then he said he should be called Beta Chi because he keeps he's sidelined by the female characters, and he keeps saying that Zai Ling, Shang-Chi's sister, is the main protagonist because she's more cool and she's a better fighter. It's like, what movie did you watch? You know?
And also, like, at what point did she say, oh, I continued my training and I taught myself how to do it better?
Oh, he had a problem with that, by the way.
I've got a question.
He had a problem with that.
Well, if he wasn't the main character of the fucking movie, then why wouldn't they just name it after the other fucking characters? Like,
because it was a bait and switch, Annie. It's all a bait and switch. Don't you know?
Why
it's
would they
Marvel
do that? Why wouldn't they market it as like, look, a strong female?
I don't, because it's not, because it's for one, it's not
what
real.
it is. That's not what it is. Yes.
I listened to Doomcock last night, his live stream for a few minutes, and I mentioned this on the stream last night too. But Doomcock had this guy named Mexican Iron Man, who is probably one of the most flippant idiots to ever associate with him. And that makes a lot of sense considering Cameron Pasha. But he was saying that he's all like, oh man, like, no, Disney's absolutely buying up tickets for this movie because no one is seeing it. No one I know is seeing it. All theaters are empty, blah, blah. This movie premiered in like 4,300 screens this weekend, 4,300 screens. A lot of places have the social distancing when you're in the theater. And a lot of the other, and a lot of people have reported back to me that their theaters were sold out. Their theaters were absolutely packed. You can't do the 83.5 million. Sorry, I was corrected in the chat. I said 90 million. But it's still, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of fucking cash that's coming down this way, and so it's really just kind of ridiculous.
And again, it's so funny that the people commenting on this video got a recommend saying, you're lying about Gary, you're lying about him, you're lying. I'm like, what am I lying about? I'm responding to the video in question. Like, I'm giving my take on his criticisms, which I found to be utterly stupid. And again, when you watch the video, and I recommend everyone to go check out the stream when you can. He literally misses such big, important details that I have to imagine he either was on his phone the entire movie or he just didn't care to pay attention. Like, such blatant disregard for obvious details. Look
at this one here. A lot of what he says sound like his opinion. If you liked it, that's cool, but you're calling the man a racist because he didn't like it or thought it was done incorrectly. That's a bit much.
Never called him racist. I said some of his jokes were dog whistling for racist.
Oh yeah, you can't use that. That's too much of a word for them. Herpderp, this is a great one. Just found out this is a leftist SJW channel. Also, don't recommend this channel is selected. This is what we're talking about when we talk about the Fandom Menace and the absolute type of wrong thing that goes on. That you can't have it, right? You can't ever be outside the echo chamber, ever.
Yeah, and also the comments that I were saying, oh, you're only relevant because.
Eric J.R. Maldonado Herrera, who, by the way, is in the chat crying like a cuck right now, by the way. I
He
saw him in
also
there.
goes to Mad Max's channel a lot.
Yeah,
too.
I know, under a different name, but he's here using his full name, I guess. I don't know, whatever.
No, short name. It's just Eric.
Yeah, but it's definitely it's the same guy under a different account. That's what it is. He's just got two accounts with the same name. Like, hey, buddy, you ain't fooling anyone here. RJ, how was a fan gathering a super spreading event? And why was Jesse kicked out? Because she was harassing Gary and his wife. That's why they kicked them out. Also, Jesse wants to create drama. I had to say that all really fast because there's zero punctuation.
He's in the chat right now.
I know he's in. That's what I just said. I said he's in the chat right now.
This is the corporate shills that hate the customer, like Gary said.
Oh my God, Mr. Eric Maldonado. Oh geez, oh God, oh no. Why don't you go? This is more racist dog whistle. Oh geez. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Listen, how can you sit there and say that this is just corporate? Like, we criticize corporations all the time. I'm gonna bash Sony probably before the end of the stream, and I get called out for bashing Sony all the time. And people in the chat tell me, hey, you're just anti-Sony. I'll criticize it where it's necessary. Here it ain't necessary. The movie came out, it did well. The movie did not have a political agenda. At no point was it China #1, as would a lot of these guys want to say. What they're trying to say, that, you know, it's not even allowed in China, and that has nothing to do with Simu Liu not being quote unquote attractive enough for Asian audiences, considering the fact that just the other day the Chinese government came out and they're like, you know what, effeminate men on TV banned. So if Simu Liu is as dog shit ugly as you guys are trying to make him out to be, if he looks like a human turd in the you know, attractiveness department, then he would be candidate numero uno to go on China theaters and be like China, pro-China shit. So that narrative that doesn't hold any weight, period, ever, point blank, full stop. But they try to act like it does, and to come out here and complain about this.
It was so funny too, because in his review, Gary's like, the only people being positive about this movie are obviously paid shills.
Hey,
really?
Oh, great, Callie.
Hi, Callie.
Hi, Callie. Oh
my
my
wife just
God.
walked down.
I'm just saying it is utterly redonkulous.
Yeah.
All right.
But seriously, go check out that stream when you guys can. Is
Eric here? Hey, Eric
is here.
I love your comments, man. You make me laugh all the time. I really wish your idols would actually pay attention to you. We actually, respond to you, unlike the asses you're kissing, the extremely white bro asses that you're kissing. But don't stop, Eric. Bring the heat.
Yeah. Like I said, the stream that I did talking about Gary, like I knew it was gonna get some heat on me, but the thing is, like, he honestly views his audience as idiots. He really does, because I don't understand
knows his audience is what you're saying.
No, I think he thinks his audience is idiots, and well, he probably knows that they are too. But like, the thing is, it's like he's such blatantly lying to them. He's lying to you about what the merits of the film are, what's actually in it, and he doesn't expect you to actually fact check or watch it for yourself. It's really disappointing, like, that anyone would continue to watch or support it. It's like, get the stick out of your ass and actually know what you're talking about. You know?
Hey, Eric, can you give a thumbs up to the video? We need like 100 likes. There's like 100 people watching. Eric, have you liked it yet?
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize we had that many people watching. No, yeah. Look, all these guys. This is the narrative, all right? This is the narrative. If you're coming here and you're finding this because I put Nerdrotic and AZ in the image, the thumbnail,
then it works.
This is the thing. This is the bullshit that they do all the time. It's the same script, rinse and repeat.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I just did like a solo vid, just reacted to the video that I did earlier, and Jeremy was trying to. You know what their big problems with SJWs are? Is that they virtue signal and try to act fake offended for minorities. Well, he acted like the reason they have such an issue with them promoting this film the way it is because they're disrespecting the history of Asian cinema. And actors.
Do you have a link for that? Like, can you, cause I'll play that. Cause I was there.
It's on Ryan Kinnell's channel.
Well, can you go find it real quick and like just post it in the private chat so I don't have to like, because you should still have it. You should still have it in your, you'll know where it's at in the live stream.
Right.
I don't know where it's at in the live stream.
Yeah. But then compare that with the context. I'm just saying of Nerdrotic showing a video with an Asian baby crying and mocking Asians crying the whole time in the video. Yeah. They really care about offending Asian people. Okay, I'll try to find it for you.
Yeah. So the Slither. Okay. So Slithercar here. Okay. This is a point. He says, I listened to both of you, holding my opinion on Black Widow and Shang-Chi till I watched them. WandaVision bored me, and Loki needed a few more episodes, or needed more episodes, a lot more. But we have Kang. And that's fine.
That's
you were
cool.
at least holding an opinion. We're not talking about the opinion of the movie, because what we're talking about here has been like, if you listen to the video last night, the stream last night, we went through Doomcock's video on Rocketeer. I don't do video reactions like the whole thing very often, but everything was like a racist dog whistle about our culture being desecrated. And
they're taking away our heritage pretty much.
Yeah, things like that. And that is the same kind of dog whistle that people like Gary do, and that Jeremy, to his credit, has kind of softened up a bit on that one. But a lot, Ryan Kinnell kind of does it as well, calling Mark Hamill like a fucking cocksucker and things like that. It's just ridiculous nonsense. This is the kind of crap that they pull in order to keep you angry, because this is what they do. They want to keep you fucking angry.
I found it for you, and then I'll have to go.
Okay.
If you want to play it, and then
we'll play it.
Because my ear is killing me. You ever have a problem with earbuds? I stuck it in too much.
Yeah,
I
had a problem with the Samsung Galaxy Bud Pros. I bought for my birthday this year, and they kept giving me ear infections, so I can't use them anymore.
I might have an ear infection in my right ear.
Yeah, just go get. You can get some stuff from the store about that one. But all right, well, go ahead and play it because you got it up.
Find some orcs, some shit, but.
No, they do look like they're fun, but they're giant assholes.
Oh, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being here. The road trip's been crazy. Let's hit some of these super chats.
Okay, this is where it starts.
Shit about the MCU
or Ripa, whichever works.
Or Ripa, who doesn't consider the MCU canon, which is a good thing.
That's ridiculous.
All right, Animating Andy with a big rant. I'm going to try to hit all these because you've been sending them in. I think they're for like £5 a piece. Part 1 of rant. The claim that Shang-Chi is the first real Asian superhero movie is a lie. Just Google the following: Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Super Sentai, Armor Hero, Giant Saber, Legend Hero, Bima Satria Garuda. These are all Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Indonesian TV and movies. And then they're all Asian.
Jeremy nodding like he knows what the
countries.
fuck they're being said.
People making this claim are disrespectful and completely disregard towards Asian.
Isn't that exact? Wait, I have to pause there. Isn't this exactly what they say they hate about SJWs acting fake offended for minorities?
Yeah, just nodding their heads to whatever the fuck is said to them. Yeah, no critical thinking. Sounds familiar. I wonder where.
And you honestly think they're being genuine based on what they did on the Nerdrotics stream, laughing at Asians crying in the video as a joke? You really think they're concerned? They're so full of shit.
No. The idea that only something out of Hollywood's considered the first real is absolute garbage and angers me. That's what it's all about. That's how they marketed this shit.
That's why we're doing this.
We're try to get. And one of the reasons that we do it, or that they do it, is so that they can get the media.
Hold on, I want to hear
immediately
this.
On their side.
Yep.
Right?
What?
So then the media feels like they have to, because in this virtue signaling woke world, that's how it is. Oh, this is something that's pushing minorities. We have to support it no matter what. That is their ideology. That's how they fucking think. So it's.
Yeah, it is. And it's all about, again, it's going to get overused by me at some point, and maybe it's already overused, but it is projection. It is projection. It is them. So when we call it out and go, this is disrespectful towards Asians in general, because you're pretending like anything that came before it doesn't matter. And
yeah, because they care so much about Asians.
When they hear this,
look, Jeremy talks about projection, and that motherfucker projects more than like I did at my old job, where I literally ran a projection booth.
Can you
right?
Can you believe he said that with a straight face?
Like, no. When we do it, it's okay, but when they do it, it's projection. When we do it, we're calling out all the bullshit within the industry. But when they do it, it's simply just trying to get woke points. Right. It's called the horseshoe theory. Look it up, Jeremy. I know you can't read, didn't graduate high school. I get all that, I understand it. All you can do is just take other people's opinions and then try to reframe them as your own.
Attack people that did.
That's all you can do. And the thing is like this, like they didn't market the movie any other way that they've marketed any other fucking Marvel film.
Yeah, no, what they're complaining about is the media. The media is not part of the marketing.
And to be fair,
media chooses to cover movies, not the responsibility.
And haven't I said that's the problem? Didn't I say that last night?
Well, let me play the few extra seconds, and I got to go because my ears really bugging me.
It's like, no, we're just normal people. We're just normal.
There
people.
we go.
I don't need any. I don't get any cool points for just saying, hey, this is disrespectful towards a group of people, because that's just normal.
That's what he cares about.
Oh my fucking god,
You're
dude.
not better than
Oh
anybody.
my
We're better than
fucking
the
god.
losers that are pushing identity politics. But outside of that, us
Oh
saying
my-
that doesn't make us better than anyone. It just means we're normal. We're not fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
Oh,
Classic
what
drunk
the
3PO.
fuck?
Drunk 3PO!
Okay, that's it. I had to share that.
Oh my god,
I couldn't believe
man,
that.
that's so like just that no. We're the good guys. And you know, this is the whole point. This is the whole point. That is in direct response to what I said last week about McCarthyism 2.0.
Yeah, they
That's-
won't
you-
address you directly.
They won't address me directly because they're honest to God fucking afraid of me. 100% afraid of me. Jeremy Griggs of Geeks and Gamers from Pensacola, Florida is absolutely fucking terrified of me. All the time terrified of me. That's all if I say anything, he doesn't want to address me directly because he's afraid of it.
Sure, Eric. Don't even highlight it. Yeah.
But
I
the whole
believe you
point,
there.
the whole point is that it's really hysterical when he's like, no. I don't get cool points for like calling out like why other people are offended. Like, bitch, you fucking say that shit all the time. You use the term like they all the time. Like at this point, it could be literally about anybody. It doesn't have a direct meaning anymore. This is fucking. They believe it.
Well,
That's the funniest thing about it. They believe it.
I can't wait to watch the stream. I got to go. I came to support you guys. It's like 4 hours. I got to get off the internet. But have a good show, everyone. And Anna, I need you on the show. I keep forgetting. I have you in the DM group, but I want to have you on my show as well. Have a good night, everyone.
See you later,
I
Max.
can't
Feel
wait.
better,
I
man.
can't wait to hear this discussion. Bye.
This is the thing. This is the thing.
That video is goddamn hilarious, dude.
That these are the people. Look, they don't know what they're talking about. Let's be honest about this one. Now, I do want to address this here because I see Echo Base is here. Look, Echo Base, man, I got nothing against you personally. All right, I think you guys try, but here's the thing: drop the fucking losers, guys. Doomcock is a loser. He's losing relevance. He's hanging out with literal witches, trying to do remote viewing into Kathleen Kennedy's office. He brings in Camera Pasha, who fucking describes her as potentially being a suicide bomber because like she got renewed. I mean, every time they talk, it is just moving the goalpost. Now, I understand that you guys get the association with them, that you guys can get some of their audience, that you can build up off of being around them. But I'm telling you, if you actually care, ditch those guys because you're not going to get the audience that you want, because eventually time is going to come when they're going to be so radicalized that even objective thought, any kind of objective thought, is going to go out the fucking window. And so if you guys are actually like trying to have a conversation about any of this kind of stuff, which I do think you are, you're not going to do it with Tom Connor. All right. That dude is he has drunk that Kool-Aid too, man. He has single-handedly ruined Midnight's Edge, in my opinion. You're not going to do it with Doomcock. You're not going to do it with Camera Pasha. You're not going to do it with those fucking people. Yeah, they might be fun to hang out with. We all have like a drunk uncle that's cool to chill with every once in a while that writes angry letters to the government from their shed in the fucking woods. We all have those kind of people in our lives to an extent. But like all they're doing is they're building up an audience of people that at one point, and this is me being hyperbolic, let me specify this, that is probably at some point potentially going to take a gun to Lucasfilm to go after Kathleen fucking Kennedy. That is the kind of demonizing of that woman that they do, that somebody is going to get so mad about my Star Wars or being disrespected by the Whammons because it starred a woman or it had a person of color in it, that they're going to get a gun and they're going to go to fucking Lucasfilm. And if you don't believe, like, I'm being hyperbolic, but back in 2018, you had a woman go to YouTube's headquarters because of the demonetization factor, and she shot 3 people before killing herself. Thankfully, no one else died. But she was so up in arms over YouTube holding out funding that she went with a gun and she shot people. And then a couple weeks later, after the story broke out, another dude was literally caught on his way there with a gun to potentially do the exact same thing. And that is the kind of radicalization that leads to things like January 6th, which we won't go into that too much, but that's the kind of radicalization that leads to the storming of our Capitol and an insurrection. That is the kind of mass conspiratorial bullshit when Doomcock is out there saying things like we need to protect our culture, that our stories are being taken away, that our history is being desecrated. Who the fuck else said that? I'll go back to the fucking 1930s in goddamn Germany, and that's the same kind of fucking rhetoric you're going to hear. And those are your friends, dude. Those are your fucking friends. That's all I'm saying about that shit. I think you guys at least want to have a conversation, but you are literally teaming up with people who are just some of the absolute fucking worst. And I have no problem saying that to you or them. Period, point blank, full fucking stop. Don't care. Because that's exactly what I see. And you know what? In these situations, I'm rarely ever fucking wrong. But anyway, let's move on here. That was that. Anyway, do you guys have any thoughts on this shit?
I think it's funny. It's funny seeing them circle the wagons. It's funny. You know Odin from Odin's movie blog?
Yeah.
So he does those box office analysis, right? So he did one saying that, the fantastic opening means nothing. The film ultimately won't be profitable. And he got it was barely 50 dislikes, but he put a goddamn trigger warning in the next video he did saying, trigger warning for all MCU corporate shills who don't like facts and logic. Oh, and he's like, let me break down why you guys are still wrong or why I'm still right about this and the movie will not be profitable. It's like fucking losers, dude.
I mean, the thing is, you guys know that as far as Marvel production budgets go, Shang-Chi was actually on the smaller side.
Yes, it was. It was much smaller. It's already made its production budget back.
It's made its production budget back. Now it's got to make back the fucking marketing, which the marketing was pretty high on it, to be fair. But you know what? When it hits home video, the movie's going to sell like fucking hotcakes on home video. Mm-hmm. And when it goes to Disney Plus, it's going to do well on Disney Plus. It's going to be deemed a profit. It's going to be deemed a win. And yeah, and the thing is, what frightens me about Odin is, and I said this on Twitter to him last week too, this guy teaches children. And I that actually really frightens me because he looks like a hipster version of fucking Rasputin. So, I mean, it's just...
he should be in the Kingsman movie coming out this December. He should be the one.
That's all I'm trying to say on that one. But anyway, we got North Star Kenshiro here, $10. Thank you, man.
What's up,
Super Sentai and Ultraman are made in Japan, not America. Most Americans are totally oblivious to these shows. Why can't Asians in America have their own heroes? Oftentimes it's rights breakdown, to be fair.
Yeah. That's a great point, though, because, again, that super chat earlier there that Ryan Kinnell and Jeremy were responding to, they're like, oh, there's these Asian Japanese heroes. Like, but are they Asian American? Again, they're created for Japanese audiences. This is something that's meant for worldwide. It's meant to be something else, you know? They don't seem to get that, though.
That's the whole point, though, is like, again, and I think I talked a bit about this last night, too, that the issue here effectively is about, it's not that it's not that this movie was made for China. This was made for the world over. It obviously does want to get into the Chinese, marketplace, but right now China is locking it all down. The movie being banned in China has no bearing on the fucking movie. It is literally about a communist regime that is attempting at this point to shut things down, become more isolationist, to re-radicalize its population. And if you're not paying the fuck attention to that, you really fucking should. Because it is important to know what the hell is happening in China. And they are making it harder for information to get in and for information to get out. And that is how you de-radicalize those people, is by giving them proper information, by giving them info. And that is something that they want to make sure is not going to happen. But we are beholden to China in a number of ways, unfortunately. And that's a whole other conversation. But trying to say that the movie's banned in China as if it's a bearing on the film itself without discussing any of the historical context of what's happening right now is so wildly disingenuous, and it's being talked about by people who have never once sat in a poli-sci class, ever. They have no understanding of the governmental bodies or anything else. They're not qualified to talk to you about social programs, right? So how the fuck are they able to sit there and tell you everything is woke and everything is terrible? You know what I mean? And that's kind of thing. Now I see the super chat. This is great. I see this here from Marvin. There's been some people here trying to call me out for this whole Anita Sarkeesian thing. Anita Sarkeesian came out and said she wanted to do that stupid tropes v women thing. That was done to push an agenda, and it worked because the media, and I've very often criticized the media for how they handle all of these fucking things. And if you ever listen to my show, you know I bring that up often, and I say that. And so Anita was able to use the media and manipulate the media to play the victim in order to get all of that fucking money. And she produced a subpar, shoddy product as a result of that. And so me criticizing her is perfectly apt because of what she was up to. This is not the same thing. These people that are coming out, I criticized Anita for things Anita said and Anita did, and how the media coddled her.
Why is Anita even being brought up?
They're trying to argue that I'm a hypocrite for this. It's not the case. If Anita would have had a decent enough argument, it would have been a different story. Anita never had a decent enough argument.
She was a fucking scam artist.
She was a scam artist. She went to like fucking, multi-level marketing.
Oh my God. She's a different fucking person. I hate this left-right bullshit. Oh, well, you said this about this one person.
It's ridiculous shit. Anita is effectively the same kind of people that Jeremy is. All right. So that's the whole fucking thing. Think about it like this. Jeremy, Nerdrotic, fucking Ryan Kennel, Doomcock, all these guys, they get out there and they say, X is the problem. X is causing you harm. X is going to do this. X is going to do that. X is going to give it to you. All right.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I had to do it. I had to do it. Dad humor 101. And then, but then she basically says, but I can fix it by calling attention to it. That I can get the social change needed in order to fix these issues that are largely irrelevant and largely will not impact anybody. That's the same fucking grift. If you've listened to Jeremy talk, he's been like, I'll talk to anyone. I'll talk to anyone from Hollywood who wants to call me. Anyone who wants to call and talk to me. Why is that? Because he wants to be a tastemaker. He wants to influence the narrative so much that his value is backed up by that. Because he doesn't have any actual value to offer on literally any other front. You know what? Like, I would maybe listen to him talk about parks because he lives in Florida and he's near Orlando to an extent, and he goes a lot. Cool. I would ask him questions about the parks because I don't go. But when it comes to talking about like social justice issues and Hollywood as a business, I wouldn't fucking listen to him. He has no experience in those worlds. Just as like when I talk about a lot about social justice, it's the same as that fucking thing. I'm saying like, don't take what I say as real in those situations because I don't have the qualifications.
Just some guy's opinion.
But the thing is, I also tell you that I also don't frame it as us versus them anymore. All right. I was in that world for a long time. The world is gray. But Anita is a hypocrite. Jeremy Griggs is a fucking hypocrite.
She's a bigot.
I'm a hypocrite. We're all hypocrites.
She's an individual. That's the thing. Like, you challenge people on an individual basis. That's how I look at it, at least.
Yeah. Well, and then Phoenix here says, well, we can stamp that whataboutism square on our bingo cards now. Probably. And then Thanura here, thank you very much, says, #pray for Australia. We can't watch Shang-Chi because our version of a governor can't handle a Delta spread. Not sure if it'll come to Disney Plus either. It will come to Disney Plus in 45 days, like middle of October. I don't know when it will come to Australia. The Delta variant is a hell of a thing. I wish everyone well in Australia. It sucks. The whole thing sucks, but the only way we're going to beat it is if we work together. That's really about it. Hold on. Are you fucking kidding me with this shit that I'm radicalizing people as much as they are? Are you kidding me? Like, you don't fucking watch anything I fucking say, do you? Because this is not at all radicalization.
Oh, boy.
I have flat out offered up a lot of fair, nuanced opinions and also backed it up with a lot of hard data and numbers. When I talk about this stuff, I come at it from at least the perspective of knowing more about the industry than they fucking do. My job here is to de-radicalize people, not radicalize people. It's like, have your opinion, but be honest in the reporting. You are a disingenuous fucking actor, and fuck off. So, anyway. All right. Northshire here says, Odin gave 0 Fs about Alita until it fit his narrative. He didn't even watch the anime or read the manga.
No, he didn't give a shit about that stuff. Odin's fucking another disingenuous twat. I honestly think he's not one of the ones people talk about the most when it comes to these fools, but he is one of the worst in my opinion.
Yeah, no, Odin's an idiot, and like I said, it frightens me that he teaches kids, really. So, all right, let us move on to the next thing here. This is actually an interesting conversation brought up by Variety. A lot of good Variety stuff today. I like it when they come in hot off of the weekend here. So they're talking about again, kind of talking about the whole Shang-Chi thing still, but they're saying here that it crushed box office expectations. Will that convince Disney to keep the Eternals in theaters? And that becomes a very interesting conversation. especially when you look at it from the perspective of the Venom 2 announcement today.
Yes, yeah. Well, I've kind of commented on this a little bit, but here's the thing. I feel like even with this box office success, they're really not for sure yet because the world could be in such a different place even a month from now. You know, the world's going to be still unpredictable by November 5th. It's like you're really not going to know until like a few weeks out.
Sony seems pretty confident that in a month from now things will be okay based on what we talked about earlier.
Yeah, I actually meant to start with this article here, but we'll go to this one here. So yeah, Venom Let There Be Carnage will be. I meant to start with that one. It was out of order on my thing.
All right, that's fine.
Will open earlier than expected, and they did. They've been flopping around, really flip flopping around on the on everything.
Yeah, this is fantastic news in my opinion.
Well, yeah, because I want to see it really bad, and so do a lot of people. And obviously, this is look, this is the thing when we talked about John Campea last week saying Sony doesn't need Marvel. Oh yeah, oh really?
They only moved the movie up sooner because of an MCU movie, you know. So
yeah, I know, right? The MCU movie kind of comes out at the end of summer on a traditionally dead weekend, and it ignites the box offices because people like Marvel, and the Marvel formula is alive and well.
Yeah, so Sony and embolden people to embolden Sony to want to say, hey, you know, we can probably do fine October 1st. Let's get out ahead of this.
Yeah, it's that's something that.
Do you think that they're kicking themselves and regretting not sticking to the September date that they had?
No. Because I think because as you said also, there's not a lot that's going to be coming down the pipeline for the rest of the month, right? It's
I think the only movie is like The Many Saints of Newark, the Sopranos prequel movie.
I mean, yeah, I want to see it, but I'll watch it to me, that feels like it should be an HBO Max movie. You know, it's kind of like what was it? El Camino, the epilogue to Breaking Bad. That was excellent.
Yeah. That was great.
That like if they would have put that in theaters, I probably would have like considered seeing it back then. But it also was fine on streaming. It was a great movie. I absolutely adored it. But it's fine where it is because that's, you know, we watched Breaking Bad on the small screen. If they didn't have Bryan Cranston in the movie for like longer than 5 seconds, then you know, it would be like that would need to be on the big screen, but this they don't. So without having James Gandolfini, I don't think this one needs to be on the big screen. My biggest fear actually is going to be Alan Taylor, and Alan Taylor's the director of Many Saints of Newark.
Oh yes, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, he did a bunch of episodes of Sopranos. He did Boardwalk Empire. He did Game of Thrones. He's worked within the HBO ecosystem for a long time. The thing is, though, like, but his feature films, Thor: The Dark World and Terminator Genesis, both were not great. And so I'm a little bit worried because I think when he's doing something that's more long form storytelling, like he has the ability to kind of like really focus on key moments rather than trying to put it all into 2 hours. So I'll be very interested to see what happens with this movie. I'm hoping it's good. I do want to see it. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But anyway, but that did encourage Venom. Shang-Chi encouraged Venom to move up. And that is the most fascinating thing, in my opinion, is that Sony is very reactive. We know Sony's very reactive. But this also means that I think that Ghostbusters is gonna come out, you know, in November 19th. That's when it's coming. I can finally see it. Mm-hmm. But they're also thinking that this is going to pull in well. Now, here's the thing to remember about this, right? They moved it 2 weeks early. So they got out of the way of Halloween Kills because that was what people like Viewer and Non were bitching about on Twitter. I think rightfully so. Don't let these movies cannibalize each other.
Yeah, it would have been. I honestly think it would have been bad for both movies if they opened the same weekend.
Yeah, it's definitely a bad idea. I do think Venom would have prevailed, but it could have done more. Now, and the other thing here is that go back to 2018 when Venom came out. Venom opened in the first week of October 2018. Did $90 million. I think it did $85-90 million somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was like 82, 83.
Yeah, somewhere in there. And it did, and it was only expected, by the way, to do 45 to 55 million. And it rocked it out by a fair amount more. Then the next year, Joker opened up on that same weekend as well. And that did very good as well. That was another $90 million opening weekend. Or near that. So
logically then, do you think that this could open at 85 to 90 million?
I'm going to say a solid 45-50, right? That's my call right now. Yeah, I mean, like, look, the thing was, like, Venom blew up the box office opening weekend because people wanted to know what the fuck it was. I do think over the course of the last couple of years, it's done well with building up a bit of a fan base, but because
this has Carnage, dude. Carnage.
But again,
I don't think Carnage is enough to sell a movie.
Everybody wanted Carnage in the first movie. Like, he's a big draw.
He's a big draw, but it's also not rated R.
It's also not in a connected universe.
That's the other thing too. I think people went to Venom thinking it was going to be tied into a connected universe.
Yep, exactly.
And Venom 2, like, look, we know it's eventually going to become a connected universe.
But like the point is, right now we know that this film's not going to be the one that does it. At least, probably not.
Well, they should do it. They should absolutely do it. Get it in there.
But like, do you really think they're gonna do it with this movie? No one's thinking that. That's the point, right? That's why I don't think many people are gonna go out and see it compared to the first one. But I think it'll do well enough. It'll do fine.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Because okay, RJ, what are you anticipating for the opening weekend then?
I was thinking 70 to 80. I think it's going to open pretty much on par with the first one, maybe a little higher. Because I think the first one opened with 80. This one could probably do 85 max, maybe 90. But I think that is a tall order.
I
know, but again, dude, Carnage.
I mean, like, but when's
Carnage,
the last time?
Though.
No, I get that it's Carnage. I'm not deriding the fact that it's Carnage. I want to see Carnage.
Plus,
too.
It's that Spider-Man hype. Right, it's gonna ride up much like Captain Marvel. You could argue
they better fucking co-market though.
He's less popular than Venom. Like, am I wrong? I know people really want to see him on the big screen, but he's at least more niche than fucking Venom. Like, he has his fans, but like I just don't see him getting asses and seats. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the question is, okay, what number do you think Sony wants to see? What would make them happy?
Well, Sony clearly wants to see the whole, like, they wanted to do better than the original, obviously. And they think probably with the 83.5 million that came over a 4-day weekend, 75 million, I think, for the 3 days.
No, they're saying it's going to go as high as 90 for the 4-day now.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm waiting for tomorrow to get the full numbers in. But the reality of it is, I mean, look, they probably want something as high as that. It's a standard Friday. It is leading into the horror movie season. It does look like it's going to, the PG-13.
I think Venom could play the entire month of October.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. But I do think the PG-13 is going to bring in a lot more people. I do think that was one of the things that kind of did hurt Suicide Squad, which is unfortunate because I enjoyed the R rating. But, and if they make it like scary and interesting and intriguing, people are going to go. But here's the thing with that too, is like the marketing, they've got to kick the fucking marketing off now.
Yeah, now is the time to strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, now is like, they should have announced it like right after the Spider-Man trailer, but I get why they were waiting for Shang-Chi. And I feel like they're probably in a position where they're feeling pretty good. And I honestly think fans are wanting to get back into the world. I think fans are. I do think Spider-Man fans, if they co-market it, they have to start putting Spider-Man in the trailer. Something about Spider-Man in the trailer, dude.
I literally think that there's more hype behind fucking Morbius just because of fucking Michael Keaton. Like, that's
I'm looking at the trailer views, right? I know trailer views don't always dictate stuff, but like both of the Venom 2 trailers have about 33 million views each, which is really strong, I would say. So there is interest in both in the movie.
How's that shape up against the fucking Morbius trailer? I had Michael Keaton in it.
That's a good question. I'll look at that just in a second.
Okay. Yeah, I'm quite curious about that comparison because if people were more interested in that than I think either of the two.
Morbius has 19 million.
It's also been out a lot longer, in all fairness, but like, I don't know.
I'm waiting to see what happens. I'm waiting to see, because at this point the projections, like Shang-Chi was a hype. It did better, but at this point, not a lot has done better. And so it's like, I know Black Widow pulled in 80 million. This pulled in, close to that. Venom, they're probably thinking, because of the success of the first movie, which did really well in China, is Venom going to open in China?
Well, they already have a Chinese poster. I think they're trying to bet heavily that it will secure a release date. Remember, this is Sony. It's not Disney. It's not Marvel. It's a different company.
That's going to be their saving grace.
But do you think that's going to be a problem for them in the future if they end up like interconnecting this like more formally with the MCU?
Probably not, because if Spider-Man Far From Home opened up out there and Spider-Man Homecoming also were there, those are also Sony films. Yeah.
Oh, that's that's really weird.
Those are distributed. Those are distributed as Sony films. That's the whole point. So they're Marvel Studio Productions, in cooperation with Sony Pictures, but they are Sony distributing. Is that's how it works out. So I don't think that's going to be much of an issue. I could be wrong, but I don't think that's going to be much of an issue there. I think, like I said before, China currently is trying to crack down on Western influences, and that's a big fucking problem for a lot of these movies who rely on Chinese money. But then again, look, man, fucking Joker didn't go to China, nearly made $1 billion. Both Deadpool movies didn't go to China, did gangbusters, you know. So movies don't necessarily need to rely on China. These kind of movies, I mean, Venom did to get the money that the money that it made. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm very curious to see how it opens. I know I'll be there opening weekend, like everybody else, I think.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna be there opening weekend.
Hopefully
I
this
want to
movie
see
doesn't
this
turn
movie.
out a fart in the wind.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
But
let's
then
see what the tracking looks like, and let's see what the reviews look like.
Yeah,
I think that could
yeah.
influence it for sure.
Then you've got so this is the first article. So the Shang-Chi crushed box office expectations, and this is where we talk about the Eternals here. Will the Eternals actually be able to go to theaters, or would they push it to Disney Plus, or do a hybrid release where it's on theaters as well as Disney Plus? I know, RJ, I think you're thinking about this right now from the perspective of they're probably going
I
to
still
put
think
it in
it's too early to
theaters.
decide.
It's less than 2 months.
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. I feel like it's gonna be a last minute decision no matter what, because again, the world's gonna be in such a different place. Like it could be, again, we don't know what the world's gonna look like a month from now, even, right? So it's unpredictable.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Well, I mean, that's the whole point. It is unpredictable. Even Venom's unpredictable. If they're thinking 80 to 90 million, I think that's a little on the high end.
Oh, okay, but like they have to at least like commit to something for at least some amount of time, because they've been moving around like release dates for shit, but like they at least have to have some game plan at this point in time. You know what I mean? There has to be something.
I ultimately think that they will do theaters only for Eternals, but if they were smart, I think they should do day and date. I really do. Because I think
agree.
even if it does day and date, I still think it would make decent money at the box office, like at least like 70 to 80.
Yeah, well, you know, this is what they're talking about here with that whole experiment comment. You know, would enough people show up in Marvel or show up at the theater to see the Marvel movie to justify keeping the $200 million budget to film in theaters without an immediate backstop on Disney Plus? You know, I mean, pulling in the money that it did, it's still gonna, you know, I still think it should have come out like last week to give kids a full week of summer to go see it during the day. You know, because like that's something where even during the summer, like Black Widow did 80 million on its opening weekend, but the Monday after it came out, it pulled in like another 7 million, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, you have your Monday to Thursday box office as well that comes on in, and that adds a lot to it over the course of the week. And clearly it does better during the summer. But when it comes to the Eternals, I agree. I think they should go day and date. I think it's a kind of ridiculous to not do it. Just because I don't see there being hype. I don't see there being hype for this movie. I just don't see it.
Well, I think there is some hype, but it's not as big as other movies. I will admit that. There is interest in this, but I don't think it's like so massive. I mean, looking right now, the teaser trailer got 25 million views, and the normal trailer got 22 million. You know, not as big as the Venom trailer, you know, but I think there's still interest in this movie. It's just, I think it's just going to be a tougher sell, you know?
Well, and
it's
that's
going to all depend on word of mouth. It's going to depend on reviews. So,
well, my fear is that they're going to start showing all the action scenes in the trailers, you know, to give you like, because nothing about that trailer, it all feels like it's all about getting the band back together, you know, and that's just like,
but when you don't know the characters, it's like, well, why do I care if they get the band back together?
Like Richard Madden is playing a Superman knockoff. I've seen people upset about that. I've seen people bitch and moan about that whole thing. You know, Salma Hayek. Oh, Angelina Jolie. Okay. I like the actors, but
if Salma Hayek was doing a dance scene or something, maybe I'd be intrigued. But
Oh my god.
I mean, like sure, yeah. I'm not against that. You know,
I'm
she
certainly
played
not against
Santa
that.
Monica. What was it? Santa Monica Pandemonium in From Dusk Till Dawn. I've watched that scene a bunch. You know, when I was a teenager.
Um,
Well, here's the thing though. Angelina Jolie, I know she's a big factor in this. She is a big box office draw, and she is making the movie intriguing to some people. Even in the chat, I've noticed people.
Well,
are like,
that
I'm
no,
pleased for
that
Angelina
yeah.
Jolie.
you know,
Even Maleficent 2 kind of speaks to that. To be fair,
But
I'm
it was-
starting to have a
yeah.
second take on this movie, like not performing well. I think it actually there's a chance that it could. You know, there's a chance this movie could do all right. I don't think it'll do much better than all right, but I think it could do all right.
well,
at least.
here's my question. Did the end credit scene in Shang-Chi, without spoiling it, I'm asking RJ this specifically. I don't think Anna, you've seen it yet.
No.
Did that tie into the Eternals? Probably not.
I don't think so. No,
I don't think
I
so
know there's some
either.
speculation that it did, but no, I don't think so. I think it's setting up something completely different.
I mean, when I saw it, I thought there might be some connection because I'm like, okay, are they talking about like the deviants, you know? But again, I don't know. But no one has kind of alluded to that, not even comically. So then the question becomes, all right, well, if they aren't tying this into the Eternals, what real connection do we have as far as the FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. At what point in time do we have that going into this movie?
Well, I would say the trailers have done. Here's what I'll say: the first trailer, maybe not so much, but the second trailer, really tying in the idea of the Celestials and all of this stuff about the future of the. I think this movie, more than anything else, is going to tie into the future of the MCU, and I think they need to be pushing that more in the marketing and TV spots and stuff, because they're making references to Thanos, to the blip. This is like their immediate result of that. Again, they really need to start pushing the fact that this is going to like really set up a lot of things in the overall universe for the future of the franchise.
I feel like people are kind of tired about hearing about the Infinity War shit at this point, though.
Well, no. According to Nerdrotics, Shang-Chi should have had an entire scene dedicated to explain the blip because they overlook it.
Oh yeah, I saw that on your video on your stream today. Yeah, that's the whole. But see, that's kind of the whole point. When you look at the idea of the blip, we've already had it explained in Endgame, or happened in Infinity War. Then we had it reversed in Endgame. It was talked about in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was also WandaVision. And that was an excellent opening scene, Mike. That was intense. That was really good.
No, it was great.
And so they explained it. They've already explained it. Like, how much more hand-holding do we need over the blip? You know, because there was a line in what Gary had said, like, people who come back, they're like never gonna get over that. And I'm like, you know, to them it was like literally a snap. It was just they blinked and they were out and they were back. You know, things have changed.
Like a second. It was like you close your eyes and you wake back up.
Yeah, that was really about it. So it wasn't like they were. Really, the traumatic part comes from the people who've been left behind for 5 years.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's the other part of it, or the people who were like, you're gonna have survivor's guilt from people like, let's say, who were on a plane when like maybe the pilot was blipped out of existence and the plane collapsed and crashed and they all died because there was no one to fly it and everything else. You know, I mean, like that's
and those
kind
people aren't coming back.
Yeah, but again, it's like, no, they ain't coming back. No, they're definitely dead.
That's fucking crazy when you think about it.
It is crazy. And it's like they're, you know, again, if you watch the movie, there's references to the blip in the background. They have posters on the wall about like, you know, hotlines to call and everything else. There are references to it.
Yeah, Shang-Chi even had posters in the background talking about like self-help lines for like therapy sessions and stuff. There were
watch the movie. When he's going into his shitty ass apartment at the beginning of the film, you see it on like telephone pole. Mm-hmm. There's background references to let you know that it existed, but we've also explained this multiple times through multiple avenues. The average fan, the fact of how many people showed up to this movie and the high word of mouth shows you that there are a lot of fans who have watched all of these shows and watched all of these movies, so they know the timeline. They don't need it explained to them. Right. They don't need it.
And here's the thing too. You can't keep looking to the past. You got to keep looking forward to the next thing. If you keep focusing on the past, you're never going to move forward in your storytelling. You have to move on from the blip. You have to address it at the start, obviously, because it's a major event, but we got to move on at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point. It's just, it's insane to me. It's like the demand, it was such a nitpicky demand that had no real bearing on anything.
No, you know what, Matt? We should still be talking about the battle for New York.
well, not to keep talking about this guy, but like even like he was complaining about you know, there's too many supermodel women. I'm like, I guess Gary just wanted to jerk off to like 8 buff dudes fighting in the movie. I guess, you know, he doesn't want to see any sexy women fighting.
The sister was like the only one that would be dressed sexy, and even then, I mean, like, I thought she was all right, but like, I wasn't, I'm like, who's the other woman that was, I mean, was at the very end of the movie? Like, where you see that, I won't say what the shot is, but like, you know what I'm talking about. I don't get it.
Yeah, he was complaining that it goes into the stereotype of like sexy supermodels fighting evil Russian guys. Because apparently that's a common trope in movies now.
Okay. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
That is like,
I told you that review was so bad. It's
2 seconds, and then like, I don't want to say what it is because again, I don't want to say what it is, because people who haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it. So yeah, it's so dumb, guys. Like this is, you can tell like when somebody has like just read like the cliff notes of a movie. Like he probably just like, how much you want to bet he didn't actually go and see the movie. He just read the plot description from Wikipedia, drove down to the theater, shot a video from the parking lot, and went back home.
Oh my God.
Like how much you want to bet that's what he did? Like
how many details he missed, I wouldn't be shocked because again, I don't understand how you don't understand certain things because it's not like tiny blink and you'll miss the details. It's literally like dialogue and exposition scenes that he completely missed over. Like he was complaining about some of the stuff in the third act. I'm like, did you not pay attention to the monologue that Michelle Yeoh was giving, the exposition monologue? Apparently not, because again, he missed everything. I don't understand. I don't get it. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't. I have no freaking idea. Like I don't know. Maybe he just read about it and then decided to I don't know, because according to Wikipedia right now, Shang-Chi had a budget of 150 and it's made 146.2.
Yeah, it's already made its production budget back, which is fantastic for an opening weekend.
Yeah, it really is. Considering. But again,
they're going to keep telling you it's a flop, and that's going to drop in the second and third weekends. It's going to drop so big, it's going to flop, and Simu Liu is going to be crying and all this.
Well, I mean, if even the quartering is coming out and admitting that that they were wrong, then maybe they just might have to admit.
Do you think anyone else will? Do you think any of these other people are going to come out and say they were wrong?
Well, I mean, if they see him do it, maybe some will follow his example. Maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got something from, let's say, like like the director, Destin Daniel Cretton, maybe Aquafina, but then again, she's been kind of dealing with that black scent controversy.
Yeah,
so who
knows?
Gary
in his review said that there was black scent in this movie too. I'm like, where was there black scent in Shang-Chi?
I don't know. I'm like, if it just, you know what it is, man. These are the kind of guys who every time a woman speaks, they just kind of like tune the fuck out. That's really what it boils down to. To tune out. But anyway, back to the Eternals because I want to move on to other topics. So I think they should do day and date. I don't think Chloe Zhao. Look, I'm telling you right now, I know they're going to push the Academy Award winner thing, but like 10.2 million people watched the Academy Awards this year.
Yeah, nobody really cares. Yeah.
And then the movie was on Hulu, and I don't know how many. I think Hulu's got like 70 million subs right now.
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
People were watching it, but not like such a major number that's going to be like earth shattering.
It wasn't. Yeah, the movie didn't come out. It's like it's a movie, and I've made this joke before. It's literally a movie about like parts of America. It's not even like an over the top like period piece or something along those lines. It is literally a movie about a woman whose husband dies, who can't afford her house. She moves into her car. She ends up becoming a seasonal worker at Amazon. And then she starts like traveling the country in her car and doing oddball jobs. Like that's why it's called Nomadland. It's like, and the thing is like this, that's not even like a fucking hot take on society. There are YouTube channels literally dedicated to car living. And I've watched a bunch of them and they're interesting, but I'm like, I would rather watch a vlog from a woman who like carries a, like a little mini porto toilet in the back of her Prius so she can pee in the middle of the night, and how her setup is, because it's more fascinating than a drama about a woman who's like, I'm doing the same thing. I don't need to be, I don't go to movies for that. I like a good story, but I don't know.
I do have to hop off. Now I'm getting tired as fuck. So I will.
All right, man.
Yeah, we'll be leaving now. But thank you as always for having me on. It was nice chilling with you guys, and you guys take it easy. Have a good night, everybody, and you guys in the chat too.
All right, see you later, buddy. Thanks for coming on in. Appreciate it.
Bye.
All right, so let me get to some super chats here. There's been a couple. H-Barts with 5 bones says, China will collapse eventually. Controlling your people always fails. I mean, listen, to be fair, the last time they kind of collapsed is because there was a British takeover. And then the British gave, well, no, at least for Hong Kong. Then the Brits gave back Hong Kong, and Hong Kong is not necessarily faring better. So I mean, you know what? It's like the thing is, it's going to boil down to the U.S. and China as the top two superpowers in the world. China's got literally at this point almost 5 times the amount of people and nukes and influence and all sorts of shit. So money, and they've been buying up parts of our country and other countries, you know, I mean, so I'm just saying, man, I get you, dog. I get you. I appreciate it. But yeah, there's that. And then, I know I feel so bad. Okay. No, hold on. HBar's here talking about Eternals here. Matt's going to orgasm over the sunset, Chloe's house sunset. Oh, that's so great. Saggy here. No, I'm getting to the super chats, but I'm making it a point to like not break up the convo as it happens to answer the super chats, just because it breaks the
No, I think she knows. I think she's just in the chat.
She just give me shit, as always. Saggy knows I love her. All right. And then, okay, we got Andrew Dunbar here. Thank you, man. Says, I'd be curious if a higher dollar pay-per-view model akin to boxing or MMA would be a viable way to release a movie. Some boxing matches are priced at $85. You're never going to get people to pay $85 for a fucking movie.
No, because nobody's going to see the value, like the value margin. Like nobody would agree to pay that much. It's way too expensive.
Like if it was an Endgame or an Avatar or something along those lines,
even
like
then you'd have a tough time.
Even then, like I would not pay it. I won't lie. If it was the only way to see that movie was to drop $85, I'd pirate the fucking thing. I'd buy it when it came out on home video, which would cost me less than fucking $85. I'll tell you that. But I would pirate it. Just because I'm like, no, I'm not paying that. Like, and that's just my hot take on it. But no, they'll never go that high because it's just going to end up hurting them. They're going to lose money right off the bat. Hold on here. Mad 1306 says Gray said Black Widow made more money than Shang-Chi because it was released on Disney. Yeah, no shit.
Well, it did.
It made more money in the 3-day opening of Black Widow than Shang-Chi did, and then an additional $60 million on Disney Plus. So I don't know, like that's such a Grace.
Well, she was also saying in her video that because of the Venom, because of the Shang-Chi box office and Venom 2 moving up, that still doesn't mean that Spider-Man No Way Home won't be delayed to next year. She says that she's heard internally that they're thinking about delaying it to allow for more to decrease the crunch time for the visual effects, give it a little more wiggle room. So
yeah. No, I get it. Oh, Yvonne here asks a quick question. So is it the blip or the snap? It depends. It's kind of like it's like the terminology changes.
The movies call it the blip, but the fans call it the snap.
Yeah, and they call it the blip in Spider-Man Far From Home, which was again the Sony production. So I kind of wondered if that was like how they just, I don't know. I thought they changed it because of the studio, but I mean, I prefer the snap, but the blip makes more sense because we, the audience, know about the snap. Everyone else blipped out of existence, right? Like not everyone knew about Thanos snapping, and we still
they know that they know that it was caused by a snap.
So at this point, we kind of know that. All right, Rational here with $5 a minute. Thank you. Says the 10 rings were created by the Mocklins, who will show up in the Eternals. Will they? Or I mean, like I know that it was made by the Mocklins, or
I honestly got no goddamn clue.
I have no idea what's gonna happen.
I don't know much about the Eternals. That's the one, like, even with Shang-Chi, I knew a little bit. Like, I knew some of the stuff about the Mandarin. This, I have no clue. Eternals, I have, like, no comic book knowledge. They're, like, very obscure. Even, like, someone like me who's a diehard Marvel guy is like, I got no fucking clue who these people are or the stories.
Yeah. It's, oh, God. Oh, so even speaking of that, Ryan Kindle's trying to spin it. Look at this here. Speaking of the Shang-Chi thing, I just saw this on, on Twitter. I'll bring it up here. Oh my God, this is so funny. This is the coping we keep talking about, right? This is the coping.
Is it a tweet or a video?
It's a tweet. It's a tweet.
Oh, okay.
Right. He says here, people sure excited about the third worst opening weekend for an MCU of all time. Almost like we were in the same spot after Black Widow opening opening weekend a few months ago, and that resulted in such a big box office disappointment for ScarJo that ScarJo sued Disney. That actually wasn't the reason why she sued.
It's moving the fucking goalpost once again.
That is absolutely like
it's just being disingenuous.
It's such a bad take. It's such a bad take because it's not why she sued Disney.
90 million opening weekend.
80 million opening weekend.
Well, okay,
80,
80. But
80
still, it's
for
pretty
80
damn good.
for Black Widow. 80 for Black Widow. You're sorry. You're talking about Shang-Chi. I mean, yeah. But you're talking about like the 3-day versus 4-day.
Still,
Thursday.
it did good. It did
I know.
good.
I know. It's always kind of a tough one.
If Ant-Man can open with like 50 million and get a trilogy, this is going to be fine.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I know. It's such a weird goalpost move. It's like in a pandemic, it didn't need Disney Plus in order to pull in,
and
like,
people really like the movie. The word of mouth is really strong. People are really
the word of mouth is better than fucking Black Widow. Like,
oh yeah, 100% it's better.
So it's just
like
to me,
Black Widow
it's
came out. It's like,
ridiculous.
oh cool, it's out. Some people were talking about like everyone talking about Yelena and the post grad scene, and they were like, okay, next thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know. I think when we got to the Yelena's, it's like, okay, bring on Hawkeye. And then also here, Saggy with $20. Saggy, thank you so much. I just want to make sure I give you proper shout out. Thank you, Saggy. Says Tony movie Chappie. I don't know what that is. Is that a GIF? No, I don't know who Tony movie Chappie is.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Yeah. Anyway, question. For your guys' thoughts on screenwriter Cameron Pasha. I know he's been showing up a lot on Midnight's Edge, and he supposedly is a Hollywood insider, and he actually believes Doomcock. He's fucking insane. If you ever look at him when he talks, he doesn't actually ever close his eyes. He doesn't blink. I mean, the guy is in my mind
Tony
on
movie
something.
Chappie's the guy in the chat. He's in the chat. I think Saggy is super chatting for him.
Oh wow, damn. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't see that. But yeah, the thing is, Cameron is, if he claims to have been booted out of Hollywood and fired and blacklisted, the thing is, I have a feeling if you could ever find an archive of his old Twitter, he'll get another Twitter eventually, and he'll tweet about his book, and then he'll start retweeting e-thoughts, the women who have OnlyFans accounts, right? The hotties on Twitter.
Sounds familiar.
And that's a lot of that. That's a lot of that's going on. And then he's talking about all of the sexual harassment stuff he saw at Disney when he was there. That's what he was alluding to. That was a projection he was alluding to in that little clip I played in my YouTube short that I saw on the live stream. And that kind of cracked me up a bit because I'm like, this guy retweets hot women who he would have to pay in order to see them nude. And he does that more than he promotes his book. I just find it to be really funny. I'm not kink shaming by all means, dude. Let your freak flag fly, everything. But I just find it to be kind of funny. And then I listen to there and I'm like, I kind of wonder if the dude himself has been put in a position to where he has been accused of something. Whether he did or didn't do it, I don't know. But, generally it's that's kind of where my mind goes.
Cameron Pash is not a guy you want to rely on to tell you factual information, insider knowledge on Hollywood.
Because he hasn't said anything that's been right yet. He hasn't anything. He hasn't said anything. What's he said? Nothing. There's an internal civil war. He's been the one pushing that narrative of Doomcock. And it's
Kathleen Kennedy's a suicide bomber.
Yeah. No. My favorite thing though is them all saying Kathleen Kennedy is going to be removed from power, removed from Star Wars. She's not going to touch it. And that's going to be it.
But you'll still have power over Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it's she's the most powerful female producer in Hollywood. Just the other day, by the way, a lot of the higher ups in the Time's Up movement stepped down saying that they need new leadership. As far as I know, Kathy is still running the show over there at the Time's Up movement as well. Maybe she stepped down. I missed the press release for it. But, I mean, she was heavily involved in the Time's Up stuff back in 2017. She's got, do you guys not understand? The head of the company is not going to be removed from the highest grossing content branch of the company. And in this case, outside of ILM, which does all the visual effects.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to take her out of the equation. That's not how business works. She would not renew her contract if she was sidelined. That is such a weird damn take that people have, And again, because I see that Echo Base is here, and I just want to address them directly. I saw you guys on that stream, and you were kind of nodding along with it. I get you don't want her in power. I totally understand that, but it's at some point, do you ever stop and just go, maybe these people are full of shit? Because nothing they say makes any sense. Ask anyone who actually works in the industry. and they'll tell you the same thing. You don't have to like the person, but at least have a fundamental understanding of like how the pecking order works at a company, at least with the upper echelon hierarchy. Anyway, thank you for that one. Appreciate that one, Saggy. We got one here. H Barts. Oh yeah, so I'm an orgasm over that sunset. Damn straight. I'm a nut over that sunset. All right. Let's see. Benson here with 2 pounds says Venom 2 will outperform Chi due to Tom Hardy. Benson did not like Shang-Chi.
No, he did not. Yeah, I knew.
Yeah,
about
he
that.
said it was boring. I politely disagree, Mark. I thought Shang-Chi was a lot
I
of
liked
fun.
it too. I liked it too. But if you don't like it, that's cool.
That's
About the Tom Hardy thing though, I don't know because his box office track record when he's the lead's a little shaky. He is popular, but I don't know if he's like 100% like a safe bet box office draw. If that makes sense. He is popular though. I think he will help it out though because he is a bigger name actor. You know.
Yeah, well, he is, and I think
Cool.
look,
Yeah,
I think if you brought Tom Hardy, I think if you brought Tom Hardy into with Tom Holland, right? Like, I think that would be big. But in the meantime, I don't know. I think because it's not at this point a connected universe that we know of, it's a bit of a hard sell. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. But I still think you're wrong about Shang-Chi. Anyway, Communion here says Gene Steeler Colts animated reveal trailer. Hey man, I'm gonna we'll see if we can get to that tonight. I don't want to promise anything, but I'll take a quick screenshot here so I can go find it if we have time. I do want to try to wrap up in the next half hour. There's still a couple more things to get to. If not, we'll get to it tomorrow. I gotta try to keep it under control. All right, thank you, man. Zephyr Chan here, $20. Thank you so much, Zephyr. Appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. If the Eternals has a Bollywood number, would Neurotic, Geeks and Gamers, and Doomcock all say that it's blatant Indian pandering?
Oh, dude, they're gonna fucking have a meltdown. That's not an if, by the way. It does. Kumail Nanjiani is playing a Bollywood actor, and apparently, when his introduction scene is a Bollywood dance number that they filmed and had actual Bollywood talent supervised to make sure it's authentic. So there will be a Bollywood number.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Blame, though.
Bollywood dance numbers are fucking insane. Like, they're insane. You know what I mean? Like, Bollywood does some good shit. I mean, not to say I really always enjoy like their plot lines, but they do some good action, and like I always love their song and dance numbers.
It's a very fascinating subject. You know, it's something that goes a little understated when you talk about movies. But Bollywood's popular, man. Makes sense to reach out, but they're gonna call it pandering. Of course they are.
I didn't know that it's in the movie. That makes me want to see it more now, actually.
Yeah, Kumail Nanjiani plays a Bollywood actor. Like after he became an Eternal, he went to go work as a Bollywood actor. So now he's actually a celebrity on Earth as a Bollywood actor. That's his character.
Oh man, that's pretty funny. That's gonna be pretty good. That should be pretty funny to see how that goes. Although I always find that particular like mindset, that particular storytelling to be kind of dumb. You know, it's like we've been here for thousands of years. Like, but you're
hiding amongst you.
Yeah, but you're popular, so like people know who you are, but you don't age. So like, everyone's gonna know your face. It's like, what are you gonna do? Unless they have the ability to like change their appearance or something.
Yeah, that is true, Drake. Kamal is Pakistani, so you know that some crazy people are like, he's not racially ethnically appropriate. This is
racial appropriation. It's a Pakistani playing an Indian. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh fuck. Jesus. That's gonna be a thing. Ugh. Why, RJ? Why do we live in this kind of world?
I don't know.
It is nuts. All right. But thank you, Zephyr, for that so much. Gaylord here says, "Sup, gangs, went for that collab, fellas. We'll figure it out, dude. It kind of stuff happens like literally. Like I'm gonna go live, and then around like 8:30 or 9, I kind of start prepping the show. So if it's like that's literally when I start doing it is around that time. So it all kind of comes together last minute because that's kind of how it works. Lord Slick here does say, "Don't talk bad about Pasha. He might trap you in that Obsidian mirror. He might. It's entirely possible that they were using remote viewing to watch me earlier today, which." I'm sorry. You saw something you probably wouldn't want to see. Moving on. Andrew Dunbar here, man. Thank you, buddy. Fun fact, China overthrew the government of Guinea yesterday. It was a play for their bauxite and iron reserves. They want an alternative to Australia. Really? They overthrew the government of Guinea? I did not hear about that.
I didn't know about that either.
China's making moves, man. I'm telling you guys, China's making moves. I don't know how to stop it. I don't know if our government can, but that's the thing. H Bart's here, $2. Thank you. Says, if I paid to watch Wonder Woman 84, would I die?
Dude, if I would have watched that movie in theaters, I would have been so goddamn pissed off. I would have been pissed. I was pissed when I watched on HBO Max. If I saw it in theater, I would have been even more angry.
You know what sucks? So I felt like I was lied to with Wonder Woman 84 because they put out the first like 3 minutes the night before it came out. You know, they're like, here's the opening 3 minutes of Wonder Woman 1984. I'm like, oh, cool. Sat down, popped up HBO Max, like watched the opening 3 minutes. Really dug the opening of the movie. Really enjoyed that whole thing at the mascara. And I was like, damn, that was good, man. I can't wait to watch this whole thing tomorrow. And then I watched it. And I'm just like, oh, damn, I can't wait for this fucking movie to end.
Yeah, the opening scene was the best part. After that,
it really was. It was the most coherent part of that movie. Really,
reminded you most
really
of the
was.
original.
Yeah, I know, right? It's all like, and then of course, like, here's the thing: getting the Snyder cut a couple months later, that redeemed Wonder Woman in my eyes because like that was Diana Prince, not some like oh my god, I lost my boyfriend. What am I gonna do? I don't know.
Crying mess, the one who barely fought. He was like a wimp.
It's like it just like it was bad. That's kind of what. Well, yes, actually. She did commit sexual assault. And I actually would love to ask Patty Jenkins about that. Like, I would love to see.
She was trying to homage like this classic film. I forget the name of it. She was trying to pay homage to that, but she did it in the worst way possible because the writing was so bad. Because it made it worse. I understood the idea, like the idea to homage a certain classic 70s film, but it was so badly handled. It was bad.
It was pretty bad. Apparently, Saggy here tells you to check Twitter. I don't know why. But
I already did.
Okay. Davey Crotchke here says, come to Vancouver Island and smoke it with me. You'll love my basement. I can't get into Vancouver Island right now because I'm American. And so I can't leave the country because your country has banned us from going there. However, when that ban gets undone, I am half Canadian. So I'm going to maybe try to look into dual citizenship because I've been talking about potentially moving up to Canada. So fourth here, it says, thank you, man, by the way. If Eternals puts the song, oh my God, from Ghost World. Do you know the song? I don't know the song. John
Pehechan
Jo. I don't know what that is. You know it? No. No, we're butchering the pronunciation. I mean, how much you want to bet? Like it's going to be, oh yeah, I know that track, but
yeah, if we listen to it, we probably know it.
Yeah, probably. I don't know, man. I'll look at here. I'll tell you what, let me just take a quick snapshot of this so I can go look it up later and then be like, okay, I will go watch that and then we'll be able to know. And then, okay, because you guys are, all right. McLeod here, 5 Canadian thanks, says, just finished Shang-Chi in theaters. Bruh, this movie slaps.
Yeah,
yes,
it's really good, man. I encourage everyone, if you're comfortable enough to go to a movie theater and you have the money and the means to do so, go check it out. It's really good. It's worth going to the theater to watch. It's a really good theater experience kind of movie.
To me, it felt like I was back watching like a mid-90s action movie. Like the plot's kind of thin, sure, but the characterizations are great. I thought Awkwafina was a lot of fun when I didn't think I was going to like her at all in the movie.
Yeah, it's the characters and the action that carry the movie, especially.
Yeah, Simu Liu was great. Getting more Wong was awesome.
Yeah, I want to see more of that world. I'm invested in those characters. I
am too.
I really want to go back and rewatch the movie. Obviously, I can't because of health reasons and other stuff going on with me right now. But like, I want to go back to a theater as soon as possible to rewatch this movie and experience it again. Like, and also, I don't feel that way about Marvel movies a lot. Yeah,
Michelle Yeoh.
I really like Zai Ling, the actress that played Zai Ling. Like, she's really cool.
I was a little bit. I'm not like I didn't find her character to be the most compelling at first. But she grew on me over the movie, and then like at the end, I'm kind of like, oh, I would like to see what you're up to. Okay, cool, because like they kind of threw us for a loop on that one, and you're like, oh, all right, nice.
And again, it's a great blending of the classic '90s martial arts film, like the Jackie Chan era, with the more mystical stuff like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, a lot of crouching feelings in the beginning and the end of that movie. Which, you know what, the thing was, like, Crouching, I remember when that dropped, that shit was a bit of a cultural phenomenon back then because it was just so iconic at the time. And it was like no one had really, because again, like people in the States hadn't really seen that kind of stuff, you know, and it was, but even China hadn't really seen that kind of stuff either because of how they were handling it and how Chow Yun-Fat, Michelle Yeoh, and Zhang Ziyi, and I think that was was that Ang Lee who did Crouching Tiger?
Yes, it was. Yep.
Okay, so it's like I gotta watch it again.
I need to watch it again as well.
It's
Quick
because I saw it when
question-
it came
yeah.
out, but yeah.
Yeah, quick question, by the way. No spoilers, obviously, but given where Zai Ling, the sister character, ends at the end of this movie, would you want to see a Disney Plus spinoff?
I
Or
don't
would you
know.
rather play out in a sequel?
I would rather see a
Remember that
sequel at this
conversation
point.
on my because we had that conversation on my stream. I wasn't for sure. I was like a little mixed. I'm like, I kind of want to see a series because I think that'd be really cool, like a spinoff Disney Plus show after this movie. But I wouldn't mind seeing it like continuing a sequel either.
Yeah, I have to. I would probably argue a sequel, right? A sequel to maybe set up what's or maybe if they have a good pitch, I'm down for anything. If the pitch is good, I would check it out. I liked that they were setting up. I would like to see more of that. I don't quite know exactly where it's going to lead into, but if they are looking to like spend a lot more time in this world, as it appears like they are, that makes some serious sense. So I'm going to do that one there. Oh, the end is the beginning is the end, says Wonder Woman 84 isn't bad. Yes, it is.
I really didn't like that movie. I was ready to enjoy that movie. I was like, oh, this looks great. I hated that movie. I think it's probably one of the worst DC movies in a long time. I really dislike it. But if someone else loves it,
by all means, enjoy the movie. I just wish certain things were different. That's really about it. It's like,
I wish it had a different plot, different characterization, better writing, better directing, better action scenes.
I'll tell you this. Give me a more conclusive ending where consequences are had, and then you got me in a bit of a better headspace with it. Elements of it didn't really pan out. But anyway, Benson here with £5, kind of offhanded or kind of whatever. It says Sleepy Joe just handed the largest natural resource of lithium to China by ending in Afghan. China has ropey CGI and a story more predictable than Titanic. Well, dude, almost every movie is predictable, to be fair.
To be honest, I thought the CGI in Shang-Chi was better in most more movies. Like, to me, the third act of this film is far superior than the one in Black Panther. And I think Ryan Coogler is a great director, but like in terms of CGI, in terms of execution of action sequences, Shang-Chi's third act is the best. It's much better than Black Panther's.
I do agree. I think that it's I really enjoyed the Shang-Chi third act, especially with the dragon, because that's in the trailer, so that's not spoiling anything. I thought the CGI in that was pretty good. The other thing I thought was pretty good. My only real complaint with it was like you could tell like the way the maybe like the backdrop of like the storm coming in kind of felt like a little bit like you could tell it was green screen. But at the end of the day, like, like the bus sequence was green screen, looked fantastic. You can't really tell. There's, green screen is used a lot in these movies these days anyway. But again, you're being told a story. Yeah, it's predictable, but a lot of movies are. If you understand the process of screenwriting and the process of 3-act structure storytelling, and you watch a lot of fucking movies, that's actually kind of the key here. Yeah. If you watch a lot of movies, you can figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, just because I would argue that just because the story is predictable, it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It just has to be executed better than other things that you've seen before, right?
Yeah. That's kind of. Halogen Helix here says, "Hey, what's up, man? What's going on, Paul?" Says that's because they stole a lot from '90s action movies. They did. But again, I don't have a problem with that.
Clear. Yeah.
Everything is kind of an amalgamation or a borrowing of other things. That is just like. Look at Avatar, right? It's like it's Dances with Wolves, it's Pocahontas, it's Fern Gully, it's a lot of other things kind of rolled into one. Cats. But yet the movie is the highest. Wait, which one?
Cats.
The movie Cats, or it is Cats?
No, the play Cats, because it's like the cat creatures. I was making a joke because it look like cat people.
I honestly I blocked out the Cats movie from my brain, dude. That movie is so. But what I'm saying though about Avatar is like it's the #1 movie in the world, and a lot of that has to do with the experience that it created, and the experience that it still actually does. I watched it again recently. It holds up in my mind a lot better than it did. Okay, so in 2009, Avatar came out. I saw it multiple times in 3D IMAX. I saw it at the theater. It didn't look as good in 2D as it did in 3D IMAX, obviously. So when it came out a few months later on home video, I bought the Blu-ray. And I just moved to LA. I invited some friends over. We watched Avatar. And the movie was still fun to watch, but because I had recently seen it in the 3D IMAX, my brain was still processing that movie in 3D IMAX. So it didn't look as good to me. It looked kind of cheap watching it on home video. But then again, watching it through Disney Plus a few weeks ago, when I watched it again, all that went away because it had been so long since I had seen it. I didn't have that fresh in my brain. All of that went away, and I found myself re-enjoying the movie. I think that's one of the reasons why movies you may not like might require a second viewing, just to kind of when you're in a different headspace to go back and try it again. And that
happened to my dad with Rogue One. The first time we saw it opening night, he really wasn't vibing with it. He was like, I don't know if I really like this. It's like, it's just kind of like a meh, whatever movie. We saw it again the same weekend. Instead of opening, I went to go see it Saturday in the afternoon, and he came out saying it was his favorite Star Wars movie ever. He said it was. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me the first time I saw this, but it's amazing. You know? Sometimes that happens.
Well, for me, Godzilla 2014, I was so excited to see this fucking movie, and I was working at the drive-in, and they called me up at like 1 a.m. and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna preview Godzilla. Come down, come watch it." Oh, okay. I live like 5 minutes away, so I got in my car, I raced down to the theater, and we all sat out in our lawn chairs and we watched Godzilla. And I was like, I was, because of the marketing, I was expecting Bryan Cranston to be in the movie a whole hell of a lot more.
Oh, I was pissed when he was.
I was pissed. I was totally pissed. And then the movie, like, it didn't connect with me right away. Cause I was like, man, really? Like, this is what they did. I mean, the Mutos are kind of cool, blah, 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 blah. It didn't really connect with me. So a couple of days later, like, I think it was like Sunday. This is on Thursday night. So on Sunday, my girlfriend's like, well, do you want to go see Godzilla? Cause she wanted to see it. I said, yeah, all right, we'll go. It was okay. I'll go watch it again though. I don't know what it was, man. But like 20 minutes into that movie, I was on the fucking edge of my seat. I knew what was going to happen, but I was on the edge of my seat. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching this thing. And like, when, the guy's like, let them fight. I was like, my fucking hair stood up. I got goosebumps and shit. I'm like, yeah, I was in it. I was fucking in it. And I didn't like it the first time I saw it. Same goes with Deadpool. I've told this story before where I had seen all the marketing for Deadpool. And I felt like I had seen kind of most of the movie because all the good shit at the time I thought was in the trailer. And then I went back, I took my girlfriend to go see it the week after it came out. And I had actually watched a pirated copy of it that I found on some website. It was a cam copy. I watched it in a shitty version of it, but it clicked with me the second time I saw it. So then when I went to go take her to go see it again, it clicked with me even more, and she loved it. And I even say this now, I think the first Deadpool is almost a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I loved it the first time I saw it, but I saw it multiple times. I went to go see like 2 or 3 times in theaters. It's hilarious. I loved it.
Yeah, all I'm saying is like there's elements of that you may not like something one time, give it a shot again. But not everything's going to be like that. Like, I honest to God tried to like Ghostbusters 2016. I tried to like Ghostbusters 2016. Still to this day, I hate myself. Not hate myself, but I dislike that I don't like the movie because I don't like not liking a movie. The Last Jedi, I'm the same way with. I'm like, I didn't like The Last Jedi. I have tried and tried to like that movie. I can't do it. The Rise of Skywalker, I liked it at first, but then I watched it multiple times and the flaws really started to wear on me. And
I knew it was a bad movie the moment I saw it. To be fair, I was so disappointed. It's like, I saw it twice, and the second time I saw it, I was even more pissed off than the first time. I so badly wish that was a better movie than it was. But Star Wars is in a better place now, so more
absolutely. I
still don't like those movies. I still don't like those movies, but I'm hoping that much like the prequels, the substance material, like the TV shows, the animation, can make those sequels better.
Oh, 100% here, 100%. So we got five more books from McLeod. Thank you, buddy. Says a lot of hard-hitting stuff in Shang-Chi, particularly with embracing both the good and the bad within oneself, make it your own, and to be your best self. That's right. That's a good analysis there. It is about that. It is realizing that we will do bad things for the right reasons. And then sometimes we do bad things for bad reasons or good things.
It's very much a movie about self-identity, like embracing where you come from, the good and the bad. Like, it's okay to not be ashamed of it, and it makes you whole, makes you a complete person.
Really, yeah, it does. And I really got to say, like, I was very happy with how they handled the father-son dynamic, because it actually made you kind of like, you sympathize, and I think you begin to care.
Yeah, because you understand he's a bad guy, but you still care about him, and you like, man, this could work out,
Yeah, Tony Leung fucking knocked it out of the goddamn park in my mind. So he was great. I need to watch Shang-Chi again. And then fourth here, great point about Godzilla. Says here, I wish Gareth Edwards did the whole MonsterVerse. It felt like Roland Emmerich did a follow-up to a Nolan movie. I get you on that one, man. I would love to have seen what Gareth Edwards would have done with the whole MonsterVerse, given like I really liked what he did with Monsters, his first film, as well as Godzilla, and then I felt Rogue One, the parts that I know was his, I really liked.
How can you tell, by the way?
It's like, so some of the cinematography is like, go back and watch like the first trailer for the movie, and that's all Gareth Edwards. That was all done before the reshoots. So it's like that cinematography stuff, that was his. I think Tony Gilroy definitely made it a better cut, and he brought it home in a way that that made it complete, and it elevated it in a way that I think Gareth Edwards couldn't nail. But in regards to tackling like the monster stuff, like, look, I loved King of the Monsters. I fucking loved King of the Monsters, but it was a different, it was totally different, tonally different film. But then Kong Skull Island, I didn't see until right before I watched Godzilla versus Kong this year. And I loved Kong Skull Island. I was actually really pissed off I waited.
Love Kong Skull Island. It's my favorite MonsterVerse movie.
It's the most complete. That is fucking true. Yeah, like it sets up shit.
Jordan Voight Roberts is directing. His directing style, the action sequences are fantastic. The visual effects are amazing. Like even the characters, the human characters are much better to follow. The more interesting to follow.
Yeah, I mean they were totally left in the gutter for Godzilla versus Kong. Like, I mean, the human characters in King of the Monsters were fun. Like, they were dumb, but they were fun. Okay. You know, they weren't as good as Kong Skull Island.
No.
And then you get to like Godzilla versus Kong, and it's like, oh, human characters, fuck them.
Yeah, I wish they would have made that a period piece movie, to be honest.
I think it was like,
I wanted to see Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, those characters come back. But
I know. I really wish they would do something with that. But I agree with you. I agree with you there on that one, Fourth. It would have been nice. I still like those movies, but obviously I have my problems with them. So the last couple things I wanted to touch upon tonight is this one here. What we got is this a tweet that's kind of blowing up right now because apparently Blade is trending. And did you hear about this?
No, I didn't. Why is Blade trending?
So Blade is trending because a person named Omar here put out a tweet. Said, just a friendly reminder that without Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and X-Men movies, we would never gotten the MCU. And this person, Tiana, says here that it's because of Blade. It all comes back to Blade. Respect Westley and his contribution. And then a lot of retweets, 3,500 retweets. You know, a lot of people are talking about Blade.
Yeah. Would you be? I'm going to tell you something. You might be surprised by my answer.
Okay.
Tiana's correct.
Oh no, 100%.
And I'll like. Spider-Man and X-Men were important, obviously. Those were the big blockbusters. But Blade was the movie that started the comic book boom. Everyone gives the credit to X-Men, which I get because Bryan Singer's X-Men was a major property. It revitalized things. Blade was the movie that started it all, though. Again, you have to remember the context of the time. We were just coming off Batman and Robin, you know.
Well, and not only that, but Spawn was 97 as well.
Spawn.
And Spawn was Spawn.
Yeah, I understand. Some people don't give credit to Blade because he didn't market it like a comic book movie. They marketed it as like a dark action vampire movie. I get that, but still, it was a comic book adaptation. It really set things in stone for the future boom, right? I'm not saying it was like X-Men. You could probably attribute a little bit more to because it was like the domino, you know, the major blockbuster that got things going. But Blade was like lighting up the candle, you know.
Yeah,
I think Blade contributed more than people give it credit for.
Blade came out when I was 16, and I still was able to. I found a way to go see it in theaters, and so did like all of my friends. And I had a friend of mine who like took on the moniker of Deacon Frost as like his first DJ moniker. Like, loved the character Steven Dorff played. I mean, I can still go back and watch Blade and just have an absolute blast.
Yeah, Blade still holds up. I mean, not always. Some of the CG.
No. The CG at the end was like whatever. But Chris Christopherson as Whistler was fantastic. Wesley Snipes as Blade was great. Steven Dorff, Donald Logue. I mean, a lot of people I like in the movie. But it had a great soundtrack. It had killer action for even the 90s. That opening scene in the rave was like at the time
amazing.
Was like, I mean, that was like fucking amazing and shit. And so, yeah, I mean, and then I do think that even 6 years later with Blade 2, Guillermo del Toro really kind of, he amped it up quite a bit.
Oh yeah. I think Blade 2 is better than Blade 1.
Oh, absolutely. Blade Trinity, not so much. But I don't hate Blade Trinity though. I actually am one of the few that enjoy it for what it is. even though it's now that I've learned that technically Ryan Reynolds' character, like Hannibal King or whatever his name was in the movie, was supposed to be Wade Wilson.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought
That's
he was
what
playing the vampire dude.
No, I'd heard like he based his character off of Wade Wilson. Is what I had heard.
That makes a lot of sense looking back.
Yeah, like I got to go back and find that quote, but like looking back on it now, it's like, oh yeah. Now all of a sudden it kind of puts Blade into a different light. Okay, well no, in the fourth year, you know what? I got to give you props on this one, brother. He says here, before Blade, I'd give more props to The Crow in 94. That is true, but I think The Crow kind of got overshadowed by Brandon Lee's death. It's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Alex Proyas did a great job with it.
It's an amazing movie.
But still, yeah.
Plus, how successful was it at the box office? Was it like a cult classic kind of movie where it's like it didn't do the greatest, but people reviewed it as very good, or was it like a big success? Because Blade, I think Blade did much better at the box office and got more mainstream attention outside of like the context of Brandon Lee's death. Of course.
The Crow apparently had a budget of 23 million and it brought home 94 million worldwide.
That's
and by the way, for the mid 90s, that was really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's
Blade?
it. Blade, I don't know here. Hold on, but Spawn is brought up here. Hold on, let's see. Blade. All right, Blade did $132 million on a budget of 45 million. That's not as good, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's still pretty good.
But Blade 2 only did 155 million. Blade Trinity did 132. So but I'm sure they've made more money on home video and whatnot.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I know some people like give different credits. I mean, I
the
think
budget. The budget for Blade 2 was 54 million.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's interesting. Like I said, people give different credit to different movies. I think The Crow definitely helped because again, because when did Batman and Robin come out? That was like what, 97, 96? So that was what killed the comic book genre, was Batman and Robin, and then it was the movies that came out afterward that revived it and started the comic book movie boom, right? So,
I cut out for a hot minute. So, what?
No, I was saying that I was asking what year did Batman and Robin come out, because that's what killed the genre, and then it got revived afterward.
Yeah, because 97 had some flops. Let's be fair. So that one was a box office. That was June 20th, 97. Had a box office of 238.2 million. But it had a budget of 125 million or up to 160 million, depending on.
Yeah, Batman and Robin did not do well. And again, that was 97. It killed the comic book movie genre. And then it was Blade that kind of revitalized it again, Blade. That's why I can't attribute it to The Crow, because Batman and Robin was what killed it in 97. So after that point that things got revived.
Shogun here is asking a good question. What about Tim Burton's Batman? That started it for like the modern age.
Yes, but again, Batman and Robin was what killed it. We're talking about like the modern, the 2000s era, the current Renaissance boom we're in right now.
The end here is saying, I'm going to go watch my Wonder Woman 84 DVD again. See you, Matt. Hey, man, enjoy that DVD life, baby.
Yeah, enjoy it.
But the fourth year does say The Crow spawned 2 bad sequels in a TV series. It also put goth on the map. Well, I mean, definitely.
No, definitely has influence, but in terms of the whole
I remember going to a midnight screening of The Crow City of Angels, and that was really weird with the masturbation scene, and I'm sitting next to my stepdad. I'm like, this is awkward. And then they did a third movie, and it had Kirsten Dunst in it.
What?
I think Edward Furlong and Kirsten Dunst are in the third movie.
Kirsten Dunst, wow.
Hold on, The Crow, Kirsten.
Because they've been trying to do a sequel or a remake forever now with Jason Momoa.
She was in The Crow Salvation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's Kirsten Dunst, Eric Mabius, and then Fred Ward, of all fucking people.
Jeez.
Is Fred Ward still alive?
I don't know.
He is still alive. Hell yeah, dude. Fred Ward, if you guys have never, ever seen the fantastic 1984 action-adventure film, Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins, you are missing the fuck out. That is his best movie, in my opinion, but he's been in a lot of shit over the years. Fred Ward is great. But anyway, I just look, I love all that shit. Isn't Momoa's Crow back in production? Not that I heard. They filmed for like a day or two.
Canceled, yeah.
And the director and Momoa backed out. We don't know why. So, hold on. Rational here makes a great point. Isn't it funny that Blade was made by New Line Cinema, which is Warner's?
That's true.
That is funny. And then back then they also had was it Dimension? Right? That was Miramax. I think Miramax had Dimension.
Miramax had Dimension.
Who owns Dimension now? Who owns Dimension now? Because Dimension put out some good solid films back in the day. Who owns Dimension? Dimension Films. It is owned by Lantern. Holy shit. It's now owned by fucking Disney.
Really?
Because it was owned by the Weinstein Company. And the Weinstein Company, well, remember, like the Weinsteins, Miramax owned Dimension, and Miramax was owned by Disney. I totally forgot about that. But it might belong to okay, yeah. So all right, so the Dimension Films is an American film production company. It was formerly used by Bob and Harvey Weinstein within Miramax, which was acquired by Walt Disney in '93 to produce and release independent films and genre titles, specifically horror and science films. Okay, it was sold to, let's see. Okay, all films released by Dimension Films prior to October 1st, 2005 are currently owned and distributed by Paramount Pictures through Viacom CBS's acquisition of a 49% stake in Miramax that closed on April 3rd, 2020. Half the profit of the sequels made to Miramax era films went to the Walt Disney Studios until Miramax sold to Film Yard Holdings. And then now Miramax is sold once more in 2016 to Be-In Media Group, which is located in Doha, Qatar. So, okay.
So Paramount.
Paramount.
Yeah.
Okay, then. That's a lot to go through, to be honest with you. Real quick here, McLeod here, talking some more about some Shang-Chi with a $10 super chat. Thank you, buddy. They gave us a great complex villain that the MCU has been missing for a while. Also, not only did Shang-Chi give a lot of Asian rep, he's also a Canuck, #Canada represent. That's true. He is a Canuck. So that's definitely something there that needs to be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good one on that one there. So kind of get through that particular story. And then I also wanted, I guess finally tonight, I wanted to talk about this Geekosity article here that was put up a couple. This is something I think Max was talking about tonight. And
yeah.
Inside the magic.net was writing about it today. And then, but didn't credit Mikey's website. So that's what caught my attention on it.
Come on, man. Credit the goddamn.
They don't like to, they hate to do that kind of crap. Now, it's asking here which Spider-Man trailers Tobey and Andrew will appear in. So, all right. So, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were conspicuously missing from the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. And he says, although neither Sony nor Marvel ever confirmed they cast the actors, every Spider-Man fan knows. In fact, since I was the first one to scoop them back on October 2019, most recently on August 22nd, I reported that neither Andrew or Tobey were in the initial trailer, but where are they? Sony is responsible for the trailer and the overall marketing. However, Feige has some say in what's shown, and Feige didn't want Tobey or Andrew in the trailer. I mean, that's like, yes.
Well, that's a no-duh moment because, again, they don't know when the movie's actually going to be released, so you hold some of the marketing things out, your big heavy hitters for your marketing push until you're more confident in your release date.
Yeah.
Because that initial first trailer is perfect enough to keep that trailer for a long time if the movie needs to get delayed.
Yeah. So we're going to have to wait and see on like when they do it. Because I mean, like, we are going to get another trailer before Eternals. We're going to get a second trailer before Eternals.
Yeah, probably in November. Yeah.
Because I think they're also, I really do feel like what they're going to try to do is they're going to use a Spider-Man trailer like as a way to put butts in seats for Eternals.
Oh yeah, it's like you want to see this exclusive Spider-Man trailer with Tobey and Andrew teases. Yeah. You better go see Eternals.
Well, that's the thing too. It's really fucking weird because like when I saw Shang-Chi, the trailer wasn't in front of the movie.
No, I was Eternals.
I was ticked about that. Now it says here, to the general public, seeing Alfred Molina's Doc Ock was quite a shock. Nevertheless, well, I rhymed it. Nevertheless, the trailers are cut for mainstream audiences as well as active followers who visit such sites as Geekosity for advanced information. Gee, Mikey, toot your own horn there. There are millions of people. I know. There are millions of people who are completely unaware that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are returning as well. After all, Twitter is not the world, but Reddit, 4chan, YouTube, Google, Facebook, Instagram, it expands. Moreover, insiders reveal that the current plan is to feature Andrew Garfield in the second trailer. Moreover, Jamie Foxx's villain Electro will be seen alongside him. Andrew Garfield and Fox battled each other in 2014's The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And then, all right. And then it's saying here now The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was not set in the MCU. This was still Sony still flying solo. Obviously, Feige's vision was nowhere to be found. So where does Tobey Maguire pop up into the trailer? So he says here that he is told that Maguire will be saved for the final trailer released close to opening day. Says that this trailer, according to this insider, it has the money shot Tom Holland Spider-Man fighting the Sinister Six alongside his predecessors, Maguire and Garfield.
That would be huge. That would be huge.
I mean,
that would be probably the biggest trailer of all time, if that's real.
Not only if that's real, not only is it going to be the biggest trailer, RJ, it's going to be $1 billion fucking movie in a pandemic.
No, totally. People will rush out to see this. They don't even care. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm going to put my goddamn mask on. We're going to sell at these theaters. Max capacity every screening."
Yeah. That's kind of the way I see it, to be honest with you. That is, all right. So, this is, in fact, there's a scene in the first trailer with Tobey Maguire slightly edited out. When Melina says, "Hello, Peter," he's actually talking to Tobey Maguire, not Tom Holland. That's what everyone kind of speculated anyway.
That's like been the speculation for months. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, "Hello, Peter." And then it cuts over to him going into the Spider-Man suit, but it's going to like pan to the right. And there's going to be Tobey Maguire there. Now fourth here makes a great point. I want all three Aunt Mays in one solo movie. You just want to see Sally Field and Marissa Tomei scissor. Just be fair. Just be honest there, buddy.
No, wait. He doesn't want to see Rosemary Harris.
Well, you know,
I'm not going to judge. I'm just asking.
Once you go gray, you know the way. All right, so maybe.
Jesus Christ, Rat.
I'm.
Once you grow gray, you know the way. Do you know the way?
Do you know the way? I know the way. Do you know the way? I fucking miss Ugandan Knuckles. Life was so much simpler back then. And so, yeah, so basically, the way that Mikey here is breaking it down, that it's going to be in the second and final trailer.
Yeah, that's interesting because the Spider Fan Instagram account that leaked certain pictures of certain actors, they're saying that they heard that they're going to show everybody in the second trailer. It's only going to be one other trailer, not a third one. So that's interesting. My question is, how do they know what's going to be in a trailer ahead of time? Like, who are they talking to? How do they know for certain? Like, how can they make predictions this far out? Because doesn't marketing change rapidly? Or like they make certain decisions before the trailer even comes out?
Well, oftentimes, like when they start cutting the trailer, they don't have complete footage yet. You know, so they put together, like, the footage isn't complete and they lock the trailer in. Like, so, like, did you watch the leaked trailer that came out, right?
Yeah, I did. The moment it dropped.
Okay. Yeah.
I wasn't gonna wait.
You sent it to me on Twitter. You're like, hey, look. And then, but you could see that the Viz effects weren't working, and they weren't put in yet.
The leak came from a visual effects company. That's where it came from.
Yeah, and that's kind of the big factor here is that when you've got that, like they locked all that in place, which means that all of this was locked in like months ago. And they were just finishing up those visual effects shots to get them ready for the trailer. And then whatever they're working on now for the other ones is going to be done here pretty soon. So I think what we're going to get probably is definitely it's entirely possible that we're going to get the second trailer in front of Venom.
That soon though? That's the question.
I mean, okay, think of it like this, right? Think of it like this. You do the first trailer in August, then you do the second trailer in like 5-6 weeks. It's like 6 weeks later.
Yeah, end of September.
And beginning at because it's October 1st, so you drop. Well, okay, fine. Yeah, it's gonna.
Final week
it won't come out. It will be online before then. But you put it out then, and then you wait another month and you drop it in front of the Eternals, which opens on November 3rd, and then December 17th is the movie. So that gives you
well, what happens if they want to move the movie though?
Then if they, I mean, I don't think they're going to move the movie.
You think
at this point it's going to stick? Yeah, it's going to stick. It's going to stick. It's because look, Shang-Chi showed that there's money in Marvel. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man had like what 355 million views for the trailer or some shit like that.
Yeah. No matter what, that movie's going to make a lot of money. That's going to be a guaranteed hit no matter when you release it. But the question is, I think we have to ask ourselves is, are they going to release it now? Or are they going to want to release it where they know they can maximize their profits? Because no matter what, it's going to make money. But if it's a case of, well, we want to make all the money, not just some of the money, let's wait and release.
Well, they also
they
also want to release everything prior to the end of the year. So they want to get in before the end of the quarter. Also, look, December 17th, you're coming into Christmas season. You know what? I think there's going to be another booster shot by then. I've been hearing about that. Like, you know, people like if you've been vaccinated for like 8 months beforehand, like they're working on booster shots. They're working on getting kids under 12 vaccinated. I have a feeling the FDA is going to approve it by then because people are going to go out during the holiday season. Yeah, we're going to see a spike. That is inevitable. But hopefully by then they'll have some help with that.
More and more people are getting vaccinated each and every day.
Yeah. And the thing is with that too, is like, look, as more people get vaccinated, we are seeing the world start to kind of reopen. And people will always justify entertainment, right? People will always justify spending money on entertainment.
Just like at concerts, sporting events.
Yeah, right. And then also too, when people are like, oh, but like I saw that thing with like Nerdrotics saying like, oh, all these sporting events or all these events are selling out. It's like, yeah, but a lot of those concerts are selling out for like 8-9 months down the road. You know, like they're plotting the concert tour now. You know, I mean, Foo Fighters just played Madison Square Garden and like they handled it the right way. Mm-hmm. I mean, the thing is like a lot of us who are pro-vaccine, right? The pro-vax people, the real pro-life people in this particular discussion, we're the ones that are like, look, go and like live your life by all means, but like take care of yourself and take care of your surroundings and make sure that we're all doing our part to protect one another and things will be a little bit on the better side. That's really about it. That's at least my take on it. And I think, you know what, like things are opening back up. We're not going to go back to shutdown mode. But we've also got to like be prepared, and that is going to require vaccines and things like that. I don't think, but I also don't think, with the way Marvel is structuring Phase 4 and like what's coming out, Doctor Strange in March, Wakanda Forever in May.
Gotta have
Spider-Man has to drop first, and they're not going to push those movies because they're not going to do it again. So Spider-Man, I guarantee you, Spider-Man coming out December 17th.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right because I want to see this movie at the end of the year so badly. Please don't delay it to March.
I know. I agree. I like my Dr. PhD here makes a great point. He says, honestly, it kind of sucks watching Marvel beat DC to the punch almost every time. Civil War versus BBS, Infinity War Endgame versus Zack Snyder Justice League, Multiverse. I love both, but damn. Again, it's all about preparedness
and timing
and who's steering the ship. And when you have a company that's in constant flux, is what we've seen with Warner's over the last couple of years, they're not going to be able to lock it down.
They're constantly being bought out or sold around, or management changes constantly.
Or they keep
rotating clown circus.
Yeah. Whereas Feige has been able to run it relatively unabated. Although now some people are saying, oh, there's, Feige's launching a civil war against Bob Chapek for some fucking reason.
Well, the worst thing that ever happened to Marvel was towards Phase 2 with Ike Perlmutter.
Yeah.
That was the worst it ever got. A lot of things were in flux after Age of Ultron came out in terms of actor contracts and just general motif of everything. But once Civil War came out and Ike Perlmutter was gone, it's been amazing. It's been even better, so.
Oh yeah, no, it totally they have. And I don't think look, Bob Chapek is an IP guy. He's going to look at everything to make sure that it 100%, he wants to make money. Why would you piss off the goose that lays the golden egg?
Yeah. Now if you are trying to piss them off, then they need to kick him to the curb and get him out of
there. Well, the thing with that though is whoever's going to take over Walt Disney Studios, Once Alan Horn leaves with Bob Iger in like a couple months, if that happens, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Horn is going to take off, but I think Iger is going to stick around.
Yeah.
But whatever happens with that, whoever comes on it, if it is a money guy and they start like fucking with Feige and the way that they've done things over there at Marvel, then you're going to know more about it. Right now, it's like, it just seems like baseless pandering for like, fear mongering with no real basis to back any of it up. Like even like, this is the thing, like one of the things Cameron Pasha was talking about in that video that we responded to, was saying like, oh yeah, hello. Like, Bob Chapek went out to the Forbes art, he let himself get like that Forbes hit piece because he was being very Machiavellian and he was whatever. I went looking for that Forbes piece, right? I went looking for like whatever the fuck Cameron was talking about. And you know what I found is I found that it was them like writing an article about an interview that Chapek gave. They abbreviated bits of an interview that Chapek had given to somebody else. That's like the only connection I can find. And it's like, so he hasn't been interviewed by Forbes. So what are you talking about? This is the thing I'm talking about. And this is, and I don't know if Echo Base is still here or not. I doubt it. But I've even said to them, I'm like, on their stream, I'm like, I'm fact checking these guys in real time. Like start pushing back on fakeness. It's not hard. Google what they say. You can look up what they say. If you value truth, you can find it. But it's a veneer of bullshit. It's a veil of bullshit. No, it's just frustrating stuff. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way. So Fourth here says, but BVS came out before Civil War. Yes. Originally, though, BVS and Civil War were going to come out on the same day.
But then BVS played chicken and moved back.
Yeah.
BVS Plus, I would also argue that Civil War, the marketing hit around the same time as BVS, so the movies were constantly being compared to as they were coming out.
Yeah.
So, because remember when the Doomsday trailer dropped, people were like, "Oh, fuck this movie, fuck BVS." That was the general attitude. And then
that was pretty funny.
Like,
that was pretty fun. I remember that too. Like, what Doomsday? What are they doing Doomsday? The dumb dude.
Well, it was like, why the fuck would you put that in a trailer? Why spoil that?
Yeah.
That was a dumb decision on their part.
So, there is one last thing I want to touch on here, and this is kind of important to fandom. For those of you guys who don't know, I don't know if any of you guys that were on Twitter and happened to see the guy, Justin Allen Ward, who had asked for Warner Brothers to allow him to see the Batman because he had brain cancer.
Mm-hmm.
He has passed away.
Oh, no.
So the movie was delayed.
Mm-hmm.
And he was asking Warner's to kind of hook him up. He says here, and this is from not long ago. It says here, I'm once again asking Warner Brothers and DC Comics, Warner Pictures, Matt Reeves, LA, and the DC fandom to help me see the Batman as a dying wish. The pandemic delay was too long and brain cancer is quickish. So please, this was my number one movie that I held out on. And this was not long ago. And then, he just passed away a few days ago.
Damn, that's horrible.
So, and I'm not in any way attacking Warner Brothers or shaming Warner Brothers. They are under no obligation to do so. This is a situation where I feel like it probably would have been in the best interest to actually like show them,
So basically, we know for a fact that, it's pretty much confirmed they did not show him the film.
Yeah, they did not show him the film.
Damn.
And it's just tragic and sad. Look, the way I look at it's like this. I don't know this guy, but he was 36. I'm 39. You know what I mean? Like, we're close in age. Clearly he was a fan. He put up this thing here.
One of us.
Yeah. He was trying to raise money for the brain metastasis fund. He was recently, I don't know when this is from, but recently diagnosed with severe life-ending brain metastasis, a few short months to live, trying one last effort to provide cover for my death arrangements, and then he was just trying to see Batman.
Yeah,
because that's what he wanted to see before he passed.
I hope somebody reached out or something, and if not, if they didn't get to show him the movie, then at least dedicate, say put him in, the thank you,
Yeah. That would be fine. Yeah, that would be
Something.
good. I don't know if they will.
Because this sucks, man. This really sucks. It's really sad to hear.
Especially during like the pandemic and everything else, and to get that, and then to have it.
He was holding out on for this movie through the pandemic, kept holding out, wanting to see it. It's like, yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, and so I just wanted to bring that to people's attention, just because it's just one of us, in a way, and I don't know this guy. I saw the tweet when it was out there, and just want to say rip, just like it's, like gone but not forgotten sort of thing.
No, of course not. And I hope that his death, brought some awareness to cancer, charity awareness or something, or it got people, I hope, my thoughts and thoughts and prayers and my thoughts and condolences go out to his family. I mean, this is just terrible to hear, I heard about this story like last year, actually, when the first trailer for the Batman came out. I think was when he first started tweeting about it. So the fact that he passed away, it's a shame. Because I just heard about it tonight. So, but
the pandemic delayed filming, so it's that's kind of the downside to it. But it is unfortunate here. Ben Bamboo says even Star Wars Lucasfilm did that for dying fans. Fourth year says Marvel would have hooked them up. Pixar would have hooked them up. They've hooked up kids before. There was one girl who I think wanted to see Up, or it was Up, or it was another one of the Disney movies. I forget which one it was. And they brought it to her, and they showed. She was in local to like LA. I think she was like a little bit south of LA.
Mm-hmm.
And they someone from Pixar took the movie down. They showed her the movie, and then like 3 hours later, she died.
Oh my God.
And so like I get it. I don't know. I'm not going to assign blame to Warner's. They're under no obligation, obviously. But, it's kind of like it would be nice for there to be that recognition, I do agree with that. I don't know if they're going to. I would like to see that they would.
At least some kind of acknowledgement.
That'd be nice. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But I don't know if Warner Brothers responded. So
yeah, we don't know.
Oh God, fourth. Thank God his wish wasn't Wonder Woman 84. Oh, dude. Too soon.
It's kind of like that movie. What was it? Fanboys, where the guy all he wanted to see was episode 1. It's like, we're gonna watch this movie finally, and it's like,
yeah. Hope this movie doesn't suck. Yeah, I like Fanboys quite a bit. Would have loved to have seen a sequel to it. But on that note, guys,
is there a happier note we can end the show on?
The only other thing I got here was like what happened with Tripwire Entertainment.
Oh, okay. I have no clue what that is.
Okay, so Tripwire, they do the game The Killing Floor, and like Maneater, they distributed Maneater, and the guy,
the shark game,
yeah. So
I love that game.
The president of the company last night or yesterday afternoon, or a couple days ago actually, sorry, tweeted out here, proud of the Supreme Court affirming Texas law banning abortion for babies with a heartbeat. As an entertainer, I don't get political very often, yet with so many vocal peers on the other side of the issue, I felt it was important to go on the record as a pro-life game developer. So that was a couple days ago. Today, Tripwire put this out. It says the comments given by John Gibson are of his own opinion and do not reflect those of Tripwire Interactive as a company. His comments disregarded the values of our whole team and partners as much as our broader community. Our leadership at team at Tripwire are deeply sorry and are unified in our commitment to take swift action to foster a more positive environment. Effective immediately, he has stepped down as CEO of Tripwire. This blew up yesterday. Like it blew up yesterday, and then like he posted a couple days ago. He went to Penny Arcade Expo over the weekend. I didn't even know that was happening in Seattle, dude. I live south of Seattle. I had no idea PAX West happened this weekend.
I didn't know either. I mean, what's your take on this? Because I honestly don't know what to think of it.
I'm like, this is the thing, man. You say things on the internet, like not always. This is the thing. You know how many things I type out now that I don't send?
No, I get that. Well, I guess my thing is too is like maybe like even if I disagree with him politically, like do I really want to see him lose his job? I mean,
I don't want to see him lose his job.
What do you think about like Colin Moriarty? I think he does make an astute point that it feels like conservatism in the gaming sphere in games media and game development feels very much ostracized. And even though I might not be concerned myself, I don't know.
No, he's right. He's right. When he got let go from Kind of Funny, I fucking called everything that happened on that, by the way.
Yeah,
like,
that was
I
a
called,
disaster situation. It wasn't.
I called, like, all he said was just, silence, hashtag International Women's Day.
And it was
that
funny.
was it. It was a stupid joke. It was funny. And then everyone got mad and he started kind of fighting back a little bit. And I made a video and I said, watch, because there was a PAX panel that they had pulled him from last minute. I said, he's not going to PAX. He's staying in San Francisco. He's fired. Guaranteed he'll leave the company after the event.
Well, especially when you publicly say, oh, he's not coming to this now.
Yeah. Well, and then because they were going to PAX, and PAX is very, very left-leaning. I think they were in Seattle too for it. And then they go and they say oh yeah. I was like, oh, he's rooming with Greg Miller, right? They're his best friends
together all the time.
Yeah. And I'm like, he's gonna move back to LA. And lo and behold, he was out, and then you find out that he was moving out and moving back to LA and shit. And then he ended up
to the East Coast.
No, he moved to LA, bought a house. He started up doing Sacred Symbols podcast with my friend Chris Raygun.
Oh, okay.
And that's blown up. That's done really well for them. And then he's got his Last Stand Media, I think is the name of his company. He does very well with Patreon.
Yeah. Does he still do the political stuff?
I'm pretty sure he does, because I'm pretty sure he unfollowed me on Twitter because I was mocking Tulsi Gabbard, and he was a big Tulsi Gabbard fan. So I was like, what? I think Tulsi was an idiot, but he's a huge Tulsi Gabbard fan. So there's that. But at least we bonded over our mutual love of Downton Abbey. There's that. I have nothing against Colin Moriarty. I think Sacred Symbols is a good show when I catch it. And I like him as an entertainer. So Ben Bamboo wants to know if RJ post a link to your video. He did post it in there already.
Yeah, I'll post it again. I'll post a link to that video in my channel if you guys want to follow and check it out.
Yeah. So McLeod says, okay, so not only did they did Red Orchestra, Rising Storm, that dude shit the bed hard. And sorry, not sorry, but I don't really feel bad for him. I mean, I don't think the guy is going to get I think the guy his comment was relatively tame in general, but it's that is such a fucking a huge issue with a lot of people that it's maybe, people came after me over the Faye Valentine thing pretty hard. I triggered a lot of people over the Faye Valentine thing. That was just anime titties. This is, a very real subject. So, and the thing is, it's because it's not only is it it really is calling Roe v. Wade into question. And that is something that is it is generally considered established case law, right? Unbannable. What they did in Texas was they basically found a workaround, and the Supreme Court backed them up on the workaround, which effectively does away with Roe v. Wade in name only. Or no, not name only. It effectively does away with it, but just not fully gets rid of it. So and I don't want to go into the full politics shit. So it's
no, I totally get that.
But it's a lot there. I'm not going to end it with that song because I will check it out though. I will check it out, man. Thank you. All right, everybody. It's been another wild show. I keep trying to get these things down to 90 minutes. This never happens. Of course, I'll be back on tomorrow night. Thank you all, everyone, for coming on. Check out RJ, check out Max, check out Anna. Leave a comment if you're catching this on the replay. Toss a like. We're doing pretty well tonight. A lot of likes, actually. Let's see here. We're 80 nice. Fucking likes. Nice. Yeah, you guys are great. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Have yourself a great evening. Thank you again, guys. Love you lots, and peace the hell out.